Oh,
yeah, I like that.
And on that note, we can actually snap and go into the game. Great talking to you, Dinko, Jason. Have a great cast.
Thank you very much. We've got all of our HLTV rating stats prepared and ready to go for this game. We're just going to be rattling them off number by number. It's going to be beautiful. Groove's got a seat. He's sitting down. He's chilling. He's having a good time.
Oh, he just stood up, Jason, as soon as you said it.
But,
getting into this game, you know, Cloud9 absolutely favorites to make it through to the major in this series up against the Sinners. But it's going to take something miraculous, right, for the Czech squad to be able to pull this off, Jason.
Well, yeah, maybe. I think Morisco had that really good game to start earlier on in this tournament, their opening game of this RMR. I think, obviously, Oscar, if he can find a way to pop off that we haven't seen yet. Look at this mid-push.
Oh.
Ooh, there we go. What's up, Oscar?
Straight away. A lot of damage done to the second players. Received some of his own. He's on 15 HP and will drop back to safety around the short wall. So Cloud9 trying to attack out into the B-bomb site. Axel goes ahead and dies immediately to Shock, and they've canceled that play because they were so separated.
Well, very disconnected, I think, Cloud9. I think that's Axel trying to take advantage of that mid-push, maybe thinking the secondary defender at that B-bomb site is Oscar, who's pushed up towards middle and thinking he might be able to find a 1v1. And he was dead wrong, because Mikey was still there, so was Shock. Oscar was actually the third player available for it. So Cloud9, this pistol round's been disrupted, disorganized, and all you have left to do is cross your fingers and pray you can get a bomb plant.
Well, the bomb coming back through Palace. All three remaining players going to try and attack into the A-bomb site via the avenue of Palace, while Morisco plays out from triple and Beastick has first contact from jungle. So he's got eyes up here. Boomich about to be spotted, and here they come, trying to just waterfall their way down into the bomb site. Morisco yet to give away his position, and he's just going to let Boomich come close, but gets cleared. And you can't let Boomich get that close, because here's the bomb plant, and here's a chance to win the pistol.
Yeah, way too much space given over in a 5-on-3. Damn, nice shot from Icy. Low HP, that P250, though. He needs a couple more of those.
And they're stuck on default because they don't feel comfortable to move out of this position. So it's still a tough round to win here for Cloud9, despite some great antics to get back into the fight. Oscar started this pistol with a kill towards top middle and damaging Icy. Finally finishes him off. Now Inter's left in a 1v3 and he's caught out from the right side and eventually overwhelmed from multiple different angles. So Sinners come in, they win the pistol, but Cloud9 somehow getting a bomb plant out of that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think they just didn't feel comfortable getting out of that, out of the bomb site, out of the default spot. You almost have to take the risk, but no one worked up the courage, and almost feels like they completely forgot the CT stairs were an avenue of a retake for the CT side. So 1-0 for Sinners. Really nice job being disruptive and changing what Cloud9 wanted to do on this pistol. Bang! Good shot from Oscar. And Axel gets lured into an aggressive play, but that bomb plant is quite nice to pick up in a 3v5. We'll always have that.
Yeah, we will. Certainly will. Here comes the force buy, though, from Cloud9 after that bomb plant. Allows them to get 2 Galils out, 2 Tech-9s, and a Deagle. Boomich, well, he has spotted out Mikey. Not too far off taking him down. To answer your question from earlier, Boomich has been in the squad for 1 year now.
Nice, I nailed it.
148 maps played under Cloud9.
I was actually surprised when they threw up the graphic of how many how few maps Cloud9 has actually played recently. That was pretty crazy to look at compared to Sinners. That like
I mean,
tier 2 grind.
It, you haven't seen them.
Yeah, that's
like you haven't even opened HLTV and seen a match you don't want to watch. You know?
Yeah, fair.
Just hasn't been a whole lot of Cloud9.
I like this edition of Heavy God though, from when we saw him earlier in the year playing, and how good he looked, and thought it was a really good pickup for Cloud9. See if it changes some of the success they could have. Obviously doing pretty good and making their way into this RMR. This is a qualification game. One of these two teams will book themselves a spot at the major. We just don't know exactly which stage and where exactly they'll end up being, depending on what other teams qualify around them.
Yes.
Because, you know, the Buchholz score is a lot of fun.
We got the difficulty score now. Morisco holding in from jungle. Heavy guard to go down at top con. Icy up next. Nice little swing from Icy. And he goes back in the middle, unfortunately exposed to the window. His teammates didn't have that covered, and now they're trying to get up through short, but Mikey's got that covered. And it's just Inters and Axel trying to combine together to split into this B-bomb site. It's possible with a kill on short. Now, if Axel can get out the window and into the bomb site, now Beastick's under a little bit more pressure. But he handles Axel. Inters is taking damage on board. He's hoping that he can take down Beastick at the back of the bomb site, but great work from Beastick and nice shots on that MP9.
Yeah, but that's pretty decent damage for Cloud9. Without a plant, I can't imagine they'd force buy again, but 3 kills is quite nice. Going to force some of those rebuys, so Sinners need to have this round be very, very clean. after a few nice trades from C9 as they march towards the B bomb
Well,
site.
Jason, you'll recall Icy from his time in the RMRs. Last time he played
Yes,
for that
sir.
wonderful team, Amcal.
Yes, sir.
And we got to see a lot of Amcal and a lot of Icy. But he was like the one shining light for Amcal, and he's now here.
But even
Cloud9.
that beautiful light of Icy cannot brighten the dim feelings of that series.
Yes, I was worried it was going to give you chronic depression after that game.
It did. But then actually it made me really happy when I saw Connor and Launders have to cast the second series of it.
And I just hope.
Yeah, that made me smile a lot.
I just hope Harry and Hugo have to cast the third.
I know, there's got to be a rematch. It should be a show match, actually. We should just get someone like, it should be like the Clash for Cash that E-League did. And we should just make one of those for Nip Omcall.
Yes, but they have to pay you.
A reverse pay-per-view.
Yeah. I think it was kind of crazy how history repeated itself. Like, right after that, the Young Ninjas went and beat Amcal, like, both times.
I know, that was...
History has a weird way of repeating. So Icy and Axel with some great deagle shots, though. That is huge. Great openings here for Cloud9. They're going to try and get up through the connector, and Morisco, he's here to try and cut that off. Okay, Boomish, that's his special move. Flying through the sky with the MP9. But Mikey, he loves to fight, and here he is, just forcing himself into the jewels. He's got a couple, and he's going to swing out through the connector. So a 2v3 is not impossible to flip back in favor of Sinners, because now it's a 2v2. And despite all of the hard work from Cloud9, it comes down to this post plant.
They should still have all the advantages in the world on this flank through CT spawn. And once again, they just kind of ignoring the avenue. Axel turns on a timing, gonna try and find a little bit of safety. New position on the barrels, hard clear.
Well, how does he get away with that?
Oh, God bless.
He had to 180 back again, and he still comes out on top of the kill. Yeah, Beastic kind of messed that opportunity up, and Cloud9, this should have been a loss. This should have been a 3-0 start for Sinners, but two big deagle shots to kick things off, and then Boomich swinging through the sky with that MP9. Just too many advantages for Cloud9 to play with once that ball goes down.
Yeah, always a bummer. Those deagles just delivering some beautiful shots across the map. Axel from ramp all the way towards ticket. Absolutely wonderful to open things up. So they're given a little bit of a gift with some of those 1-deags connecting. And Sinners, due to the nature of the previous round where they took 3-player loss, they just don't have the funds to fight with.
So Cloud9 gathering their forces for the A bomb site. There's no defense being put up here for Sinners.
No, they've decided to stack the other bomb site, which is just an unfortunate coin toss. So when this execute does come in, it's just going to be a nice little freebie.
Another game going on right now. It's Sangal versus Eclot.
We have so much
1-2 record over there. We seen Eclot yesterday against Sinners, and that domestic matchup did not necessarily deliver.
Did not necessarily impress, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of disappointing. So they get a chance to try and stay alive today at the RMRs versus Sangal. That coverage brought to you by Vince and Jackie.
B push.
Yeah, not going to amount to much though. So scoreline tied up 2-2. It's hard to know what the expectations for Cloud9 are, especially for all the reasons that we've mentioned, right? The fact that we haven't seen them play much this year. We don't really know how this squad is going to work, you know, figuring out that new system that Boomich is going to want to put together with this squad. But also the fact that in the RMRs itself, they've lost to FaZe. They lost convincingly 13-8 after having such a big lead, right? It was 8-1, I believe, at one point in that game. They lost it 13-8. But they destroyed Nemiga and they destroyed Sangal. So I'm trying to figure out what level, where do Cloud9 slot in?
Well, at the moment, at the very least, you can say is they've beaten all the teams that they're supposed to beat, right?
And convincingly.
Yeah, and that's all you can really ask for.
And they've lost to the teams they should be losing to.
Right, although, you know, when you're up 8-1, it doesn't always feel that way.
Yeah,
you know,
that's also true.
A little bit disappointing. Nice shot at the end of the day for Shock. Heavy losses and taken from Cloud9.
Yeah, quite a lot of damage done at the end. That's
easier to manage on your T side, but obviously not something you want to have to manage.
Yeah, true. Oscar's got the AWP out, though.
So does Icy.
Oscar's had some rounds at the RMR so far. Definitely, yesterday nearly had a 1v5.
Yeah.
more so his opponent misplaying it rather than...
I've had my criticisms of Oscar over the years when he was back on like MOUZ back in the day in like 2018 and 2017.
Yeah.
But I mean, one thing you just can't deny is in clutch is the guy just has like a sense of where exactly he needs to move and how to maneuver himself to give him the best possible chance to win.
Here comes a B-Stick to try and hold off The B apartments push. Heavy gun at the front. Oh god, they line up. They did not check B-Stick at all. He gets a double kill. Really shouldn't have got away with 2 on the MP9 like that, but Boomich still trying to fight forward for Cloud9. Another kill, but they realize Morisco is still on the bomb site. Another rotation of that AWP of Oscar is coming back over to try and bolster this defense. Smoke's going out, severing off the information flow to Oscar's scope, but he actually steps in front of it, so it won't have the intended result. And just pumping the brakes, hoping that a mistake or an overextension from a Sinners player walks into the AWP of Icy or the rifle of Inters, but eventually Inters falls, leaving Icy alone in the apartments, who gets caught on his blind side by Oscar.
I'm not the biggest fan in the world of that play call as your first gun round, especially when you just kind of got beaten up in terms of your economy in the round previously, because now you're in this awkward situation. Icy's got 1400. You just got the AWP on him as well, so the first chance he has to utilize that weapon is like, yeah, if it works, you take over the bomb site, you give him space to hold the angle towards market, towards catwalk, and get a little frisky, but coming through a smoke at like 1 minute and 20 seconds in your first gun round just feels like it's I don't know. It's a big risk, and it's not the most high percentage kind of an opening to how you want to play the map. AK-47 on Heavy God, Boomich as well. He had plenty of cash.
Yeah, you can see that damage they sustained in the previous round. They would have had a decent buy here if they didn't lose too many players in the way out against the Pistols a round ago. But yeah, that MP9 just... The fact that it just catches 2 opponents either with utility in their hands or just not looking at him is a beautiful opening opportunity for Sinners.
Well, it helps when they come through smoke, right?
Yeah.
that's the whole point.
It looked like they had util in their hands as well, Jason. It's just
coming through the smoke just to chuck some nades out. So awkward first gun round for Cloud9. We'll see if that can get cleaned up as we go on. Utility preventing anything fast from happening. Cloud9 going to go for an A execute, wanting to get into the bomb site. So all this utility is going to be spent and chucked out right at the start of the round, hopefully to net a bomb plant, and then we'll see if Sinners can retake.
I wonder if Shock decides just to play behind the CT smoke here or move forward. So it looks like he's just going to stay behind it and allow his teammate to be committed up on the wood. So unfortunately for Sinners, Mikey's been unable to get anything now. Enters with a good smoke spam. Mikey going down, and a 4v5 for Sinners if they want to pull off this retake. Bomb isn't down yet though for Cloud9. Eventually going to be planted by Icy.
That's a good opening from Inters over in Palace, and I really like his re-addition to this team. I feel like it's not necessarily an addition that's going to raise the ceiling of Cloud9, but it's going to raise the floor of Cloud9. Inters coming back to rejoin the former organization.
Well, Shock is slipping in towards CT. Sees the barrel of Exile. Oh, his teammate will take him out instead. Icy doing good work. This post plant looks like it's going to hold on with the time. Being so limited, but B-Stick swings out with an MP9. Time again, still a problem here for Sinners as they dive down into the bomb site. There's just not going to be enough of it as Icy stays alive.
No, they don't.
Be real.
I take it back.
They're all good. 3v3 in terms of score. Cloud9 equalize after an A execute, but damage done. Everybody eliminated, and that means they don't have a whole lot of money left over on this T side.
Or the CT side. Like, what are you going to be doing here?
We're all battered and bruised.
But that's the thing. You're going to be motivated to buy because you know as well, as you said, the T side economy is going to be great with everyone going down. So Sinner's going to battle. This is a really grimy start to the game in terms of the money both teams have to work with. 2 MAC-10s coming out, an MP9 over on B-Stick. He got that double kill in the retake, 9 and 3. Had some good sequences, and he's had that one ugly sequence trying to retake through CT on the second or third round.
Boomich out to the chair. Searching for a peek up, but it's going to be some aggression towards ramp for Sinners. Mid control is Cloud9's to play with. Got a stack towards the A site. Sinners banking on the fact that Cloud9 are going to want to finish over towards A. But they might get a rude awakening soon because Cloud9 are applying pressure to short, and the only B player is right beside them here in B-Stick. Boomich to go around first, and nothing from B-Stick this time on the MP9. So that's the site taken over. Rotation's coming in quite fast. The AK trying to arrive on time, but Mikey couldn't stop Boomich from crossing into the bomb site.
Interesting that it was
hit pause.
Interesting that it was the MP9 all on its own on catwalk when you have 4 rifles as well.
Sure,
I feel like maybe you'd want to put an M4 or an AK-47 there, but obviously feeling and sensing and taking the gamble that Cloud9 would be addressing more towards A.
Well, they are going to the A bomb site right now, and Shock could step up here from Sandwich. He only gets 1 kill If he gets a multi-kill, maybe there's still something on here for
There's
Sinners.
an X factor. Look at this flank from Morisco. So Oscar is going to be patient. Morisco's probably saying, freeze, 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 don't play. I have the flank.
Inters is watching it, though.
Yeah, but with the Galil.
Yeah, but he's also got the wrong timing. He looked away. Icy getting the trade kill. Now Oscar left alone up on top of Ticket, and Icy still hits the headshot before Oscar can bring him down. So that buy from the side of Sinners does not pay off, and Cloud9 head into the lead.
Yeah, that should be the end of this economic tug-of-war in these first, like, 6-7 rounds of play as well. Cloud9 stringing 2 together, and Sinners just don't have the money to fight back. Pick up a couple P250s in a deal, you could do a little bit more damage, keep that money limited, but Cloud9 able to kind of battering ram their way through. Really nice round from Boomich, the opening on Catwalk, stepping up in towards Dark at that B bomb site, waiting for the follow-up rotation, gets a couple nice easy kills.
Eventually, Heavy God's going to show up to this map as well, right? He's going to get into it at some point. Right now, 0-6.
Yeah, but it's nice in the sense that, oh, this is his warm-up round. Oh, nope, that's Boomich.
Yep, Boomich going out big. Eventually, too many USPs. Death by P shooter, but eventually Cloud9 have gone into the B bomb site. Plant is already in. Icy's cutting off any of these kind of flanks and should try and remove Morisco. You don't want to allow him to keep this AK-47, and Axel's going to get an upgrade, so he'll hop onto that, throw away the MAC-10. 5-3 scoreline as predicted for Cloud9, and the bye will return now for Sinners, including a tactical timeout.
Yeah, well, if Cloud9 win this one, they've got a great chance to just run up the score, right? Like, they have a lovely chance to have a big lead going into the second half. No AWP in the hands of Oscar for Sinners as well, so big piece of that puzzle is missing. Utility might be a little bit haggard. Kits might be missing as well. Right on the edge of a solid bye.
Were you about to say something about Heavy God before the action started?
Probably.
Well, thoughts
gone.
Thoughts escaped. That's okay. No worries. Maybe you'll give us something to talk about immediately here.
I'm a big fan of Heavy God. I'm interested to see what he's going to be able to bring out in this team as time goes on. And I mean, we have to remember as well, like with all the potential there, he's still relatively new to the top tier of the circuit.
And already proven himself to be a very valuable asset just with the languages that he speaks, right? Like the fact that there was a possibility for him to go to Cloud9 after playing in an international team speaking English, going to now a Russian-speaking team in Cloud9, it's quite a great asset to have.
It is, but I mean, you always have to imagine there's going to be some level of a communication delay, right? Like speaking in a second language. Mm. Smoke line at his feet. He's going to be throwing out an execute. Here's the first. Block off jungle. Block off stairs. Showing like they want to execute. But it's all to set up the mid play. Axal goes down. Very mid-centric defense for Sinners. And Icy's going to lie in wait. At this point, Sinners think they've handled the mid lurk. It's all to activate Icy, and he can have a very impactful backstab, but is it going to come in time? There's the first. Needs more than that.
Smokes up currently, keeping Sinners pinned back. Oh, Mikey getting caught by the flash, gets into the corner. But perhaps him dying will allow Shock to move out, but that Molotov, oh, it's spread to a position where Shock can no longer push out into the open. A re-smoke and connector. Sinners being stalled out, but it's all about this play. They did not predict that Shock would be in that corner because they cleared it out, and now Inters is standing here on default. 1v3 for Inters to try and step up. It's a valiant attempt, but in the end, it is Sinners who retake this A-bomb site and get themselves a 4th round win. It's a 10-second stick on this defuse, but they still had enough time to get it.
Yo, I think actually that's a wonderful round setup from Cloud9. That actually looked very, very nice tactically with that kind of this bait and switch in middle. Axal goes to his death, just goes for a duel. Icy comes up in the follow-up. Inters flashes him in towards jungle. But actually, because he gets the kill with that flash on Mikey, you never expect Shock to be in that cubby. That's exactly where you killed Mikey, and you think he's the player that would have been there. So Shock just lies in wait, and an easy double kill to activate the retake. 5-4. Sinners stay in the fight out of a timeout.
Yeah, Sinners have a player drop there, so we'd imagine we're gonna get a tech issue here.
We've gone away from the like the varsity jackets on the referees. Now we got cutoffs.
Yeah, they've had enough. I mean, we got the so much Perfect World merch out there. Seen everybody opening their kilowatt case. Must be nice, Jason.
Their merch is sweet.
I want the teacup.
I don't care about the teacup.
I know you don't. I would take yours, and I would have 2 teacups.
You could have mine, yeah. If we had them.
If we had them, of course, which we do not.
Well, looks like we have a tech issue, so
Yes.
taking this moment to look down at some notes. Well organized
That's
as well.
a lot of notes.
Yeah, color-coded columns.
Dude, they're using colored printer ink.
Wow. We have the technology.
And the money, apparently.
And the money.
I didn't realize like how expensive printer ink was, Jason, until I started buying it. It's like, damn. It's actually something that costs quite a bit of cash. And then I use it once, dries up, never use it again. Printers, they suck.
I like the way you've elevated the commentary today, Dinko. Really well done.
Yeah, printers.
Came in prepared.
I came in with a printer
Came in with some
conversation.
talking points.
Yeah, that's one of them.
And you've really nailed it.
I mean, it was just such a smooth transition, really. I had to. I just had to go there. Well, I'll tell you something pretty interesting, Jason.
Yeah, go on.
A lot of major experience on the Cloud9 side. Obviously,
Absolutely.
we're looking at the likes of Boomish, major winner with Na'Vi. We all
Major
remember
champion,
that.
yeah.
Inter's obviously has been there with Cloud9 Axel. But the fact that we've got Heavy God and Icy coming in, looking to play for their first major, that'll be really exciting. I think for Heavy God, I mean, that playing for the major would be an amazing achievement for him. He has no achievements on his HLTV page. Like, this is a player that's going to have a lot of achievements, but as of now, certainly not. But Icy, he played one major, and you'll remember it because he played for Amcal, and he covered all of their games. Jason.
I did. Ironically, Henry got sick. I casted for 2 days, and it was every single Amcal game as they got eliminated.
Yeah, and then Henry came back. It was
And
almost
then Henry
like,
came back as soon as Amcal was eliminated.
Yeah,
so
it's almost like he just planned that one.
I really appreciated it.
Yeah.
It's this Cloud9 thing. The whole situation is so. It's such a weird one. Remember, like they pick up the Gambit squad, bring them over to Cloud9. They win Dallas. Everything's looking good. Then they have to make some changes. Results aren't going their way. Change in Inters, Nafany, those guys depart the team, and then you bring in Electronic and Perfecto, and it's like this is supposed to be the god tier roster. It's like this is going to be the super team. Like no one's going to be able to beat this squad. There's no real weaknesses looking at this lineup on paper, and they're absolutely atrocious. And Cloud9 like that. It's such a shame where you feel like they made some really cool, really good, really intelligent, smart moves and pickups, and each and every one of them just backfired as much as humanly possible. So now they kind of bring in Icy and Heavy God. They brought in Boomage to bring in the new system. They brought Inters back as a solid role player. But really, the strength of this is going to be the development of Icy and Heavy God. This isn't the full power Cloud9. You're going to want to see what this team is looking like going into like next year when those guys have a little bit more experience, when Heavy God gets a little bit more experience on stages and big matches deep into playoffs. The development of those two players can really bring a lot of firepower to this team because Icy is an opera that's been pointed at as, an opera of potential, even in his time in Amcal. Heavy God as well, a revelation. You talked about his time in OG earlier this year. He was a one-man army on that team with the way he was performing. Even at the tier 1 level, he was an absolute monster and the only one that was on that lineup. So you have these two guys who can actually really deliver you some things. You just need to wait and develop them and be patient with their progression and see what you're going to get. Probably around the next major cycle, I would imagine, is where you look at that and you'd say, all right, what have we got? How far has this come? How far do we think it can go still?
And another player to talk about is obviously Axel. He's in a lot of the conversations when you're talking about Cloud9 because he was just one of the best players in the world for a significant portion of time. He was number 5 in 2021 in the HLTV top 20, number 4 in 2022, but a lot of those tournaments online. When he went to the majors, he's had decent placings. Every time he's been to majors, like quarterfinal, third or fourth at Stockholm. He did have only a legend stage exit in Antwerp, but these are decent results when he's actually made it to the majors.
The problem and like the frustration I was kind of expressing with Exile as we were talking to the desk in the pregame segment is just he had that period of just like I don't know what you even want to call it, a slump, a drop off, whatever it was, but he just disappeared from like the impact of everything, and it was just the weirdest thing to see because it had like no logical reason and no logical reason why he couldn't bounce back quicker. So I honestly like still to this day like don't really know what kind of a player we're going to get out of Axel and what kind of expectations we should have for him.
Well, he's only 22 years old, so perhaps plenty of time to figure it out. But here go Cloud9 and towards the A side. Utility flying up into the sky. And Oscar smoked off the top of the stairs. He's going to dive down, try and use the right side of that smoke. Here comes the util. Molly's into position, and Oscar's going to dive back in behind the smoke. So Cloud9 have the entire site to play with the smokes blasted open, and Oscar and Morisco together combined for 2.
Yeah, really nice break of the smoke, really nice set piece from the center side of things. seconds. Oscar and Morisco putting themselves in an advantageous position, two-man advantageous position. And Boomich is going to attempt to control CT spawn. There is a flash. No, yeah, there is. Oscar's going to chuck one out for his team. As soon as the smoke clears, Boomich is in some trouble. Actually, they're just going to come right through it.
Flash up, Boomich. Oh, really needed to win that fight. Oscar doing very well to get one down with the AWP. Now Axel stuck on the triple box, eventually cleared up on Morisco and left all on Icy. And he misses his first opportunity, so that defuse is going to be confirmed. Sinners tie up the scoreline, 5-5. These retakes in this A bomb site, they're working out for Sinners.
Well, they're doing a really good job of getting kills before the retake like truly begins,
yes.
Right? You get 2 on the cross in that round, which is always a nice luxury to have on an execute of that nature, and something that was a lot harder to do previously in CSGO when the smokes couldn't be broken open. You really had to get fortunate with some spam. Here, you get appointed as a really smart play and a good timing for Sinners to pop it open. And you add in, I think Boomich was almost spoiled for choice coming through that smoke. He got blind. His only option was to push forward and just had like 3 players he could have selected to kill, and it took him too long to make the decision in his head. 5-5 and a timeout, a second one for Cloud9. I don't think this T side has, it's weird. They have 5 rounds, which ain't bad at all, but it hasn't looked sharp. Like, I feel like they really had the luxury of punishing the economy of Sinners, and that's what gave them the advantage. But outside of that, I don't really have a whole lot of great things to talk about. Maybe a round or two that have looked tactically very cool for Cloud9.
Yeah, it's true. I think the first gun round was kind of a real taste of what's to come.
I think the best round was one they actually lost in terms of tactically. The one where Icy kind of was able to kind of slow bait Exile in middle towards Khan, the flash towards jungle. They ended up losing to Shock's position. But outside of that, once Sinners have gotten some of this money beneath them and the op back in the hands of Oscar, I feel like when they have cash, Sinners, you sort of feel like they have the advantage on the CT side.
Well, they just got 2 openers again, so they definitely have the advantage in this round. And this is Cloud9's map pick. This is the T side of their map pick, and it is looking pretty rough at the moment. Already 5 rounds to play with at least.
Doesn't help that Heavy God still only has 1 kill.
Yeah, he's had a really slow start into this game.
That's a big piece of your puzzle that's not having a whole lot of impact. So Exile going to lead the way. Icy in support with his op. Sound cue given up beneath window. But not too much information provided to the defense. They're going to assume with some of the mid-utility. And Icy can see nothing over the smoke. Fades in window, and they don't have a whole lot of utility to replenish that and to start moving forward and progressing towards the bomb site. You need kills, and you only got 35 seconds to find them. And look at how disciplined Sinners is being. No one's offering up a peek. And that's the luxury of getting 2 opening kills in that fashion where it's like, well, we've done all the hard work already. Now we just get to sit back and see if Cloud9 want to force the issue where we have all the advantages, and Cloud9 doesn't. They want to save.
They wouldn't have anything to work with in the next round if they lost everything here, and that really is the most likely outcome if they were to try and attempt this 3 versus 5. So 6-5 scoreline for Sinners. They've taken the lead. They confirmed themselves at least a tied scoreline. And this has got to feel pretty good for Sinners. You know, you're looking at a series versus Cloud9 where we were talking earlier saying, oh, maybe Vertigo's their opportunity. Maybe Vertigo's their chance to win something in this series and get the ball rolling. But right now, if they pick up Mirage, this could end up being a 2-0 for Sinners and taking that opportunity to go straight to the major. Oscar would return for the first time since 2019 and be able to bring 4 of his new friends along with him.
Yeah, and the level of Cloud9 at the moment isn't anything that's going to give you confidence for them going into the next map, as you're alluding to. So yeah, hopefully they could show us something in the second half. Galil on Heavy God, Tech9 on Boomich as they try and seal this last round away, and it looks like they want to split to the B bomb site. 4 players headed up catwalk. That smoke is going to obscure all the vision, but Sinners are already on top of it. They're already a step ahead. Mikey's rotated back. You have Morisco inside the bomb site. You've got B-Stick up looking at Hull. So 3-man defense at this bomb site. And if Morisco can provide any kind of attention, any kind of a bait, yeah, miscommunication.
Oh, well, B-Stick able to step up and instead, though, a double kill. He fights as hard as 2 men. He's got a 3rd kill locked in. It's just Icy left alone, and this would be a perfect time for him to melt away a couple of players. He's got himself 2 already. Shock and Oscar on the other side of things. And Icy uses that smoke as temporary cover to reposition and get a better angle. If he kept going, he was about to take another life away. But he hops up on the van. No peek yet. Good discipline from the remaining forces of Sinners.
He's got a lot of time to work with, hoping he gets a little information, a sound cue of some kind, or when he actually pokes his head up from behind the van, someone's going to be out in the open. But there's a lot of faith that Shock is putting in Oscar to hold the line, so he's got safety behind the pillar of the bomb site. And Icy's got to make this work, and he will. Missed shot from Shock. But now you still have Oscar to contend with.
And you know it's an AWP on the other side of things, so he jumps over the bullet, he gets into the site, bomb planted, pressure now on Oscar to make his move. He goes into the open. Dangerous game Icy's playing, but ice in his veins. What a shot, and what a round. That is an unbelievable clutch to round out the 6th round here for Cloud9.
That's a 1v4. And I think Oscar even using the deagle at the end instead of the AWP. I wonder if he was out of bullets in the AWP. I don't know how. I don't think he got a whole lot of action headed his way, but that one slips out of the hands. Beastic just provided everything, and they can't close the round. But there's that disorganization I talked about from the Sinner side of things that I mentioned we saw like in some of their matches on Vertigo earlier, is you have Mikey over in Dark defending Catwalk but playing anti-flash, and he's assuming he's going to have a teammate, I think it's Marisco who slid in over towards bench, actually able to spot for a Catwalk play so that he can turn when that contact is there. But Marisco's not taking a wide enough angle to truly watch Catwalk in any sense, and Mikey just ends up being a free kill. All that being said, probably still should have won the round. Still put themselves in an advantage situation.
That's crazy. But that's what you need sometimes. If it's not going well in the first half, you need a hero moment like this to just get you that extra round to play with. And what a hero moment it was from Icy. He was playing a dangerous game against Oscar. The amount of times he exposed himself to possibly being taken down by the AWP, but he knew how he wanted to play. He knew what risks he was willing to take.
You have to remember too, in that AWP on AWP 1v1 clutch, Icy is going to be very intimately knowledgeable what kind of movements and mobility is like hard as for the AWPer to hit, and where he's likely to be positioned and how he can actually take some of those jumps and angles. So put together very nicely for Icy.
Yeah, 15-7.5. Great half from Icy, but tight scoreline. Sinner's going to be setting up for an A-play, bomb out ramp. Mikey coming through Palace, and Icy, he's got the Julies ready to go. Heavy got down below him. Good work from Icy to at least get his. Heavy got though going down without a kill.
Yeah, he's really having a rough series, isn't he, to open this one up. Nice job. Icy's going to get one more. There is still another good flashbang, and that's beautiful. Yeah, what a beast. He's fired up after that clutch. Triple kill on the pistol, bomb down at the ramp as well, and it's up to Oscar and Beastic to put this one together and recover it.
He might be giving enough life to Cloud9 just to wake everybody else up, but give them enough time to get into Mirage. He's had a clutch there in the last round of the half. He's won this pistol round for them unless somehow Sinners pull off the unthinkable, but does not look possible whatsoever. So, yeah, massive work here from Icy. And that's sometimes what it takes, just one player to have a good enough performance to sustain life in your team until everybody warms up.
Yeah, and wake you up. You know, that 1v4 is obviously going to get the whole team fired up towards the end of the half to close things out. So Oscar might have found a gap if he clears out Khan. Unfortunate timing.
He got cleared out by Khan.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, Beastic now reveals his position. He grabs the bomb. He's got 25 seconds. He's going to sprint. He's going to give it a good go to try and get to the B-bomb site.
I think he's got time for this.
And it's free, so a bomb plant's kind of huge from Beastic.
It's not going to be free. Inters is going to beat him to the market window.
I think since he's pulled his gun out here, he's not going to have enough time now, right?
I mean, there's time to get the plant. It's just the fact that...
Is there?
Yeah.
Yeah, just about. He timed that perfectly, but yeah, Inters has arrived. I got a little worried when he pulled the Glock out. You know, slowing yourself down a little bit, maybe that cost you the final second, but regardless, Inters clocked the idea.
It was always going to be desperate, right? Just a good read from Inters, just saying, you know what, I'm just going to go watch it just in case, and is able to stop the plant from coming out. That was really the only thing Sinners at that stage could have taken as a positive was if they were to get the bonus money of the bomb plant, and it is denied. So Cloud9 take a lead. They split pistols 1-1 across the Mirage. The Mirage.
After you. No, after you.
No, you first.
There we go. Finally, we've organized it all. Oscar, of course, leading the team.
He's like, fine, I'll go first.
As it should be, really.
Seniority.
Yeah, absolutely. What was the last team Oscar played on at a major, Jason? Have a guess.
Surely it was MOUZ.
No. Hellraisers.
Hellraisers.
Can you believe that?
Which major was that?
That would be the Star Ladder
Berlin.
Major in Berlin. You cast the major final there, didn't you?
I did cast the major final there.
A Vanguard versus Astrology.
one of the legendary ones.
One of the finals.
One of the finals of all time. It's gone down in history.
I think the most memorable thing about that event is the guitarists and also Vertigo being picked against Liquid.
Yeah, but you know what? The guitarist thing could have been the guitar thing could have been so cool. Except
don't ruin it for everyone.
I'm gonna ruin it because it was ruined for me, and now you all have to suffer as well. It was all pre-recorded music. Why don't you just get them up there and let them just go? Let them go ham. Let them just improvise.
Like Mad Max style.
Yeah, that was the vibe it was giving off.
Yeah, it was beautiful. All right, so Sinners. This is the beginning of their T-side campaign. AK-47's out, utility out. Let's see what they've got.
They execute. One player presence in middle. Oh, they're going to pop up quick, and the MP9 swing out wide. Mobility back and forth. There goes Morisco. Sinners are getting shut down entirely. One more defender, and it's Heavy God. He's had that rough game. But he's got some safety behind the smoke and in dark underneath the balcony.
He's got a kill in this round so far, but he's just going to wait, bide his time. Oscar's obviously aware of the possibility that he's under there. He's now seen him. He's going to just try and reposition to do a better spot, but Exile just spams Oscar down through the smoke, and that's going to be a little bit frustrating as B-Stick now with a clutch ahead of him. He's had a good map here, 14-8. He needs to increase that, and he's not able to do it because Heavy God plays his life perfectly under the wood, has a little bit of help from Exile out from short side, and Cloud9 go to 9.
Yeah, very simplistic. Just trying to hit like a timing on contact up that A ramp. No real utility thrown out ahead of time. They just want to get up and catch the defense off guard. Unfortunately, with the timing of it, it looked like the two MP9s, Heavy God and Boomich, were actually going to get aggressive towards A ramp to try and clear things out, trying to get some information with the low weapons. Oh, look at what it means to Big Boom.
Yeah, there's a lot of energy now on the Cloud9 camp.
Big bada boom
has shifted to their side, and they're likely to be the team to take Mirage now.
Multi-pass.
It does feel like we now need a Sinners step up, like from an individual, just like what Icy was able to do for Cloud9 with a big clutch. It seems like we need something like that for Sinners at this moment.
They need a hero.
Yeah, that's exactly it, Jason.
All right, Heavy God, what you got? Up in con. Timing, I think he spotted the shoulder there. There you go. Get some confidence underneath your belt. If I'm Cloud9, if I'm Boomich, I'm almost saying to Heavy God, dude, this is a round against a low buy. Like, don't go crazy, but look for some fights. Try and get a little bit of confidence beneath you. And, well, it kind of backfires.
Slightly.
But again, like that kind of a loss, you still don't have a whole lot of danger of losing this round. You still have such an overwhelming superiority in terms of weaponry, in terms of utility. What you have to just avoid is getting picked off by these Deagles. Force this team to actually come into the bomb site. So Boomich playing it very, very safe where he can spot information. Icy's going to shift over with the op, so Boomich might slide into the bomb site.
Let's re-smoke out to ramp.
Boomich actually taking a lot of risks. That's some wide open real estate to move towards con.
Yeah, they're going to start going through that smoke. Boomich, he's got eyes in CT. It's Icy to have a look.
It's going to activate Boomich for a peek with that flashbang.
Oh, Boomich got banged out though.
Yeah, he did.
Shock's the Eagle connecting. Another chance here for Sinners as they're running thin on time. They must commit to the plant now. So bomb goes down, 4v3. And remember, Shock has picked up an M4.
Oh, no, this is horrifying. This is
another weapon picked up, an AK.
They have a smoke on Icy.
This could be a huge round for Sinners to collect, but Exile starts to move forward. And through CT, he removes Oscar's life. Morisco will fall at the hands of Icy, leaving Shock and B-Stick. It's a crossfire from Palace and Jungle to try and close this one out. Smoke deployed into the bomb site, and Shock not on target as this defuse is being stuck. It's going down inside of the smoke. They can't stop it. And just wasn't quite ready to put his crosshair in the right spot and stop that defuse. B-Stick goes down right at the end, and a nice steal away. Last second, grabbing the AWP.
Yeah.
And that's what Inters can do. He's reliable.
Old reliable. Great at picking up weapons.
Great at doing that.
If you need a player to pick up a weapon off the ground, Inters is your man.
It's true. It is true. That's usually what he would do. Maybe even drop you one too, Jason.
Shout out to Sinners, though. That's a very dangerous round that they didn't bring a whole lot into. Just Deagles, not even really a whole lot of utility. And just picking Cloud9 apart. and they even had a shot to win that round in a 4-on-3 in the post plant. Just again, the superior weapons and the lack of armor on the center side of things is their undoing. Oscar's got the op on his T side for the first time. Boomich really wants to find a timing to push, but he knows it's not now. He knows it's not now as the rest of the map is quiet. So it just takes an off angle, push down ramp.
Icy waiting. Just in the apartments. He's got a deep angle, but no one coming towards him. So a minute left on this clock. He's not seeing anything towards B, and that's because Sinners have taken some control of middle. This
feels like the slowest, more tactical approach we've seen out of Sinners.
Yeah.
Compared to their other games so far in the RMR.
Yeah, well, obviously, qualification on the line today, and they're running out of chances on Mirage. Now they flood through the connector. Bomb goes down straight away. Marisco looks to try and recover it. He's picked it up, but Heavy God starting to come to life now out from Tetris. He's not alone. He's got plenty of teammates around him, and that's a shutdown. It took a long time for Sinners to get into the connector, but then they erupt through the smoke together, and they don't get a single kill.
Well, because they were so slow and quiet throughout the round, they weren't actually probing or challenging anything or using any of that early kind of utility that they used to get space. They weren't actually finding out and figuring out what the defensive setup is. So when Boomich is able to push a ramp, that gives Heavy God the safety to kind of get towards the top of ramp, and you set up a really nice crossfire between Exile with Jungle, and it's just a massive trap that Sinners walked into coming up con with numbers. Really well done. And that feels like the round that should allow Cloud9 to kind of settle into this and just close it out. That feels like the very convincing round that makes it feel like the CT side is going to maintain its dominance. 5 in a row in this second half. Sinners have yet to put a T-sided round on the board. And they don't have a whole lot of opportunities left. Cloud9 just 2 rounds away from taking the first map of the series.
Icy, unchallenged by an AWP on the other side of things. Commits into the mid-fight, but Utility will block him out, and they're trying to be a bit faster about this up middle. Icy's got the opener. Axel swings, bomb down. Couldn't quite double up that. And Heavy God and Axel both dead in an instant. So numbers even out at 3v3, but a walk through the smoke from Oscar is ill-advised and punished at the hands of Inters. So now we're looking at B-Stick and Shock, and Shock is taking a lot of damage on board. And there's still so much time left in this round. Good move from Inters as well, taking the B apartments away.
Yeah, Sinners trying to take advantage of that walk through the smoke in B halls, all that attention in middle. They're hoping somebody rotated away, but Inters is a rock. And now with his pushed up position, he's got so much safety. So Cloud9 don't really need to worry about catwalk anymore. Don't need to worry about B. They don't really need to worry about the B bomb site. Especially with this flank from Boomich coming in. Walking the whole way, B-Stick is looking for it, but by the time Boomich is ready to turn the corner, B-Stick will have had to move. Oh, here's the footsteps now.
Boomich being loud about this. B-Stick turns around, so that advantage that Cloud9 held is now fallen away into a 2v2 with 30 seconds left.
So Inters wins this round.
Yeah, Inters taking the apartments away has been a huge move so far, and he's going to chill on the sofa, bide his time.
I mean, as soon as B-Stick goes down, I think Shock just gives up and saves. So you clear this corner? Not well enough. Tough one.
Well, actually making a lot of noise. Shock's still going for it. But Utility saved up by Inter stops him from planting comfortably in the side. So he has to find one spot where he can do it, and that's in the default corner. So Shock gets away with a plant, but Inter just runs immediately out and just annihilates it.
Yeah, and if you're Shock, you're like, okay, I've got the bomb plant, but I can't go anywhere after the fact, so this kind of sucks.
Dude, I love how Inter's plays. Like, he's just, he's so intelligent. Smart player.
Yeah, he's solid.
Well, that bomb plant does kind of tip them beyond the edge. It gives them a few extra nades to play with. They have everybody on the AK Kevlar, but it's got to be flawless from now for Sinner. 6 rounds in a row just to get overtime, and it doesn't feel like that's going to be possible. This man on your screen, Icy, towards the end of the half, had that huge clutch, and then the pistol round just kicked them off in the right direction. And that put Cloud9 back on the map. And they have dominated since then.
I like this. Sinners, yeah, just go for it to execute. A lot of the stuff that you've tried to do hasn't really worked, hasn't really had impact, and they're going to once again try and hit a very fast timing coming through this little flashbang over, but they don't have smokes up for any of the crosses, so tons of damage dealt on the initial thrust. And still no smokes to put out and deploy. One comes towards Khan right now, but Icy still has a great line of sight. Actually, that's a Cloud9 smoke that just ruined his vision.
They're going to smash it open, and Mikey's going to make it work. And okay, Sinners, that is a ferocious finish to the round.
Who threw that smoke? Who was it? Let's have a chat.
Just give him a little slap on the wrist.
Icy's like, he's like, bro, at the line.
We've all been there. The AWP's just holding. I've got a great angle.
Yeah.
Smoked.
I thought it was going to go deeper. I'm sorry, my brother.
More like, didn't know you were watching it.
5 more rounds for Sinners if they want to force overtime, but there's actually the money's kind of been chipped away for Cloud9. So if they win this, Sinners can scoot a little bit closer, still really far out of reach. Especially with the T side that we've seen so far. Mikey and Beast are going to come through underpass towards middle. Marisco will get a little aggressive as they're ready to turn this corner and join up with them for the mid take. Oh, how's this happened? Easy kill for Icy.
Oh, Axel coming back through short, and suddenly once again Cloud9 in pole position to close out Mirage. Shock has slipped out of Palace.
Nice little lurk from Shock.
Yeah. He's got beyond what Boomich can anticipate.
And he's providing cover for his teammates that are coming ramp as well.
Yeah,
oh, Boomich finds him.
Still able to react, still able to get his crosshair in the right spot at the right time, and with 53 seconds left, Marisco and Oscar 2v5 to keep Sinners in Mirage. It was a competitive first half. It really did look like Sinners are going to push Cloud9 to the brink, but Icy's clutch and a strong start to the second half defense. It has ended up being a strong finish here from Cloud9. Great shot from Oscar through the ticket box. Punches that of Boomich. He's going to need a lot more than that, and Marisco fails his shot as he goes through CT spawn, and now Oscar is asked to do the impossible. 1 bullet left in that AWP, and Icy will sink him. Cloud9 draw first blood in this progression game.
Yes, there it is. A routine first map win for Cloud9 over Sinners. Didn't really need to get into high gear. Icy just took over that game and absolutely dominated them.
All right, here we go. Cloud9 versus Sinners, map 2. The winner of this series qualifies to the major. It'll later be determined where, but they guarantee a spot if they win this series. And Cloud9 one map up, Jason. We head into Vertigo. We've given Sinners a chance to claw their way back into this series on this map, but we'll have to find out if they can.
Yeah, I'm going to reserve some thoughts until I see exactly what they're going to look like, because actually, I mean, it's a bummer they didn't get more rounds on their T side, but it was cool seeing them play a very disciplined CT side on Mirage that actually netted them 6 rounds and a great chance to get 7, which slipped away from them doing an Icy 1v4. But here on Vertigo, a map they've enjoyed going to, I feel like I've seen them be more disorganized than I would expect. And if that happens here against Cloud9, yeah, then this isn't going to be Sinners' qualification game.
Well, Mikey just sitting in behind default here. They come out to the open. Heavy God blinded and still fragging.
I'll tell you what, that kind of an execute on a pistol round is like a B defender's worst nightmare. There is like nothing you can do with the USP. Good shot from Oscar though. A rebuttal, and that's a big piece of this retake to get activated. That's a very crucial portion for Cloud9 that's taken away from them.
Oh, here they come into the bomb site. Heavy God still waiting at the generator. Second kill for him in this pistol. Icy fighting out from double stack, but it's not going to work. And so Boomich just left in a 1v2. They tap the defuse. They do not have the kit, but they've got plenty of time.
Damn,
after
bro.
that shot from Shock. That is another retake for Sinners chalked up in this series, and one that'll get them going here.
Shout out to Oscar and Inters. I think that BBL now he was talking about maybe backfired. Gave Oscar the information of where he was.
Definitely.
He's got to stop doing squats, my man.
Famously, BBLs are doing void squats.
Sure. That's fair.
That's the fast pass.
I apologize. My knowledge.
That's the fast pass, Jason.
My knowledge is not what it's not what I thought it was. Yeah, maybe an ill-advised peek from Inters to talk about it seriously. You don't need to swing out, to the right from that position. You get to be the player activating on your other teammate's contact, but a brilliant retake and a 4v5 to regain control of that B bomb site. Very effective from Sinners. And out of the plants, not an investment from Cloud9, just upgraded pistols. Going into that first gun round with plenty of cash.
Well, speaking of that first gun round, we'd like to see a better call, out of the gate. They didn't really get off to the hottest of starts in their T side. And sure, we talk about Sinner's CT side, being patient, having some great retakes, but it felt like the lack of good starts in Cloud9 on their T side was definitely a part of that. And I think the gun round was just a little flat. So I'd imagine we could see something different from Boomich here.
It'll be interesting, yeah. They did. They have, I guess, the biggest win they have on this map, Cloud9, on Vertigo in the last 3 months is against GamerLegion, 13-7, and that's really the only thing that we have to go off of in terms of figuring out what level they may or may not be at. Shock. A little bit of damage, a ton of information. Oscar's challenge, another jumping kill from Boomich. And a beautiful shots from the Deagles as they chime in, and this round is cracked wide open. Beastic gonna help shut it down. And that MP9 with no armor cannot handle Shock's peak, but good economic damage dealt. And that sets Cloud9 up perfectly to have a brilliant first gun round where they can decimate the economy of Sinners and take an advantage once again in the early going. It was that economic tug of war on Mirage. The Cloud9 T side really benefited from the fact that they buried Sinners in a position where they did not have the money to fight back with effectiveness. And another chance to start Vertigo in the very same fashion.
Yeah, this buy round coming right up for Cloud9. Listeners do have an opportunity to get a full buy here, so everyone on M4A1S, decent amount of utility for the CT side. And Shock, he's pushing into middle, but Icy's at the ladder room. Alongside Inter, so they have 2 players. This should confirm at least the trade, and Icy's going to grab that.
That'll let you know, though, there's a second player in middle. There's a supportive player. Oscar drops the smoke. Do they really want to challenge this? Oh, yeah. No, they do not. Reload is going to give them some space, but he's going to be ready to fight as they turn the corner and even backs up. However, he doesn't have a whole lot of support coming his way. It looks like Mikey is trying to get back, but it's going to be too late. Oscar's gone down, but the re-peek is there, and Sinners collapse on the attack, and the defense holds strong.
Yeah, great work from Mikey on that double kill through into the construction. I mean, the perfect utility from Cloud9 to try and clear out Oscar, but the responses were that. And that mid play does not work out for Cloud9 whatsoever. Oscar did a good job at dropping back behind the box. It felt like Boomich wanted to get that trade before they moved out into middle, but he had already got around the corner. And Sinners recover the economy game, so the damage, there's an opportunity here. If they win this cleanly, then the damage they've received earlier on is kind of negated by the fact that they can build up money on the CT side in this moment.
Yeah, that's a relatively clean win, and another one here would be absolutely lovely. First gun rounds for Cloud9 on both maps fall flat.
3 AKs picked up for Sinners.
That ain't bad.
Here goes Oscar in a flank.
Yeah, he's thinking in his head, visions of the AWP coming out with all the bonus money he could... Oh, they're so lined up for him.
One, and should be a second, but unable to grab it, and he's going to get away.
How did he not get, like, 6 kills there? I feel like he should have been able...
He should have been able to kill everybody and himself in that moment.
Not necessarily criticism of Oscar, but it felt like they were all going to be lined up for that MP9 to just do work.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the Kevlar, if you're just hitting those body shots, the MP9 isn't all that effective, but at that kind of range as well, so we need to land some quick headshots there. And he gets away with one. I think he realized, okay, my opportunity to get a second is gone. I'm just going to reposition.
Good flash to activate the peak from B-Stick. Double keep. Okay, I don't.
Okay.
This is crazy. The amount of turnarounds Cloud9 have had with the low-buy pistols. They had one of these on Mirage as well with Deagles, and now this is a nightmare for Sinners. AK-47 recovered, and Boomich has head armor as well. Oh, he's going to build on it, and he's away.
Oh, the fact that he gets away is absolutely massive here for Cloud9's chances of closing this round in their favor. Heavy Guard goes down, and Boomich, he's so quick. Twinkle Toes gets out to the left side of the map so fast that he can't just deal with it. It's 4K picked up. Fantastic work from Boomich. He's up 6-3, and he did the majority of the work on the pistols, closed it out with the AK.
I love this version of Boomich. He's coming in. He's looking very svelte. He's getting hyped up. He's got some energy to him. This is lovely. Leading the way for Cloud9. Quad kill in the round as they turn the corner. That Tech-9 doing God's work. And the AK-47 recovery with head armor as well. And now you look at this and you're like, man, it really felt like Oscar having more impact on that flank would have been a lovely thing to occur.
Oh.
B. Come on, Boomers, I just hyped you up.
You know, he's earned one this game.
I just gave you a little something.
Yep. Well, you might give him some more here, Jason. Who knows? He's down the bottom of the ramp with that AK. Money on the brink of collapse again for the Sinners. Stronger start to this map from Heavy God. Would be hard to be worse than Mirage. They had a really slow start, but not really required, as Richard pointed out on the desk, right? That's a comfortable thing when one of their heaviest hitters isn't required to get a comfortable victory in the end.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's certainly an angle to take if you want to be forgiving to Heavy God. I guess the other one is if you do have Heavy God, that can be a much easier, more comfortable victory that they could have taken on Mirage and certainly on Vertigo. There we go. Nice opening provided. And I'll say this, towards the end of Mirage, he started getting into it a little bit. Slow start, didn't seem comfortable in some of the engagements in the first 6-7 rounds, but switching sides onto that CT side started looking a little bit better as time wore on. Good trade from Icy, CT spawn overrun, and Icy's just going to back out. So all of Sinners is going to have to converge towards CT spawn to take care of what they think is a lurk. And Cloud9 is going to readjust the point of attack.
Underneath, Mikey, could have got a double kill. A lot of damage done to Icy, but no double to be seen. And that's Cloud9 in the final 15 seconds, planting the bomb in the B-bomb site. And because of the money here for Sinners, they're going to save their 2 M4s.
I don't know.
They should.
Yeah. Looks like they might go for it.
Yeah, they're getting close towards Axel. And with that kill, you might as well go for it now. There's no kid on their backs. That's why I anticipated a save call, but they're actually just getting every single kill, so no problem until Heavy God steps up, and that's the difference when Heavy God's on the server and fragging out. A 4K picked up, wins the 1v2, and you know, Sinners and retakes, man, no matter how difficult it looks, they have been getting themselves back into contention, but honestly, that round felt real difficult.
I think it's one of the more fun things that I've been able to see at this RMR is kind of the tier 2 teams who don't always have that mindset of play for the odds, right? Like,
true.
They don't save in nearly as many situations. They go for more retakes, and it turns into some exciting scenarios. And you know what? I get caught off guard by how frequently some of those retakes actually pan out in the favor, where I'm like, they should be saving.
Yeah.
I'm used to seeing top 10 teams saving in this situation. It's
That's
not
why
the
I said it there, because you see the 2 M4s, you see the economy, you think a top team would play for the percentages here. We don't have any Utah, we don't have any kits. Surely we just save, we get another round coming up soon, but yeah, they go for it, and they come pretty close.
I like it. I hope it becomes a trend, and I hope the top teams even kind of build on and catch on to the fact that some of these retake scenarios are a little bit more doable than you think, and like let that start going for more. Create some exciting situations that we used to have in old school Counter-Strike that we haven't really seen in the past few years.
No money now.
Unfortunately, that is
played the percentages.
They probably should have saved. that is the downside.
Yeah, you would have 2 M4s to work with here, but doesn't matter. Let's just see what they can do with USPs. Not a P2000. Nice comfortable lead for Sinners. It's not going to be a possibility here on the CT side, but nice shot from B-Stick. Okay, why has he got 2 kills in the USP, Jason?
The unfortunate thing is the bomb is also dropped here.
Oh, the shadow as well. Oh, dude. What?
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, here's the thing. Cloud9, slow it down. Icy, back off. Let this smoke be there. Let them take control. Let's just let them have it. There's no reason to risk it. You actually have Axile on a really big flank at the moment, and he's the one who can alleviate a lot of pressure. By opening up the avenue to wrap around the A bomb site, he's going to start putting some pressure on this Sinner's defense, who are just covering the bomb. Double boost up onto the box.
There's a spam you can do for this through the concrete. And Shock's pretty low. So if they start doing that, I seen Rebels doing the spam yesterday. They were spamming up onto the box.
They can trade their way back into this.
There's a spam, and there's the dink.
A little bit more.
Yeah, another dink. And they clear out Shock on the spam, and now Mikey's going to fall as well. So good work from Cloud9. They overrun the CT defense on top of the boxes.
And B-Stick and Morisco had to fall back because you never know if Axile's still wrapping around through CT spawn. They figured it out now, surely. But that one kill from Axile was actually huge onto Oscar to alleviate some of the pressure. Obviously, intelligent spam, good patience from Cloud9, and good problem solving to work themselves out of a tense situation. So
9 seconds.
Perhaps put on notice
Yeah.
B-Stick's gonna go for
try
it.
and come for this. I mean, a 1v2, it's possible with the AK here. You had nothing to lose to kick off this round. And that still is the case. Axel walks right into him. Can he pull this off? He's seen Intros go, but does Intros realize he was spotted?
He doesn't.
He doesn't, so he hides. He thinks he's got the positional advantage, but he's gonna lose it, surely. Oh, he's so low, he's run out of ammo, and B-Stick was one bullet away from pulling it off, but Inter's able to stand up on 13 HP and give Cloud9 their third round. But that has got to feel so bad for B-Stick. He had it, and then he drops off the ledge.
I ran out of ammunition.
Yeah, one bullet would have done it.
I don't know what he said, but at the same time, I do know what he said.
Yeah.
I know the exact emotion.
Yeah, exactly.
Counter-Strike is a universal language. All right, well, guns back out in the hands of Sinners, utility as well, but not too much. You do have the AWP
both teams
on
are
Ulster.
sustaining so much damage in the rounds where they should just win them cleanly.
I know.
Like, this is a USP round.
Pistols.
Cloud9 had a lot of rounds with the Eagles. It's crazy.
Pistols are brutal right now. Utility to start taking control of the B stairs to apply some pressure. That lurk smoke as well is going to make Mikey feel real uncomfortable. So chucking one out himself towards stairs to make it awkward for Cloud9 to take control. Four opening kills of the 6 rounds played in the favor of Sinners. Good chip damage with the AG grenade as basic control of A ramp is gained by Cloud9. Running low on nades though. Smoke is going to block off information for Morisco to help support this A bomb site. Meanwhile, Cloud9 rotating back to the B site. They're luring this defense back and forth, pulling to each one of the bomb sites at different moments. And now they've gotten Mikey in a situation where he's got no nades. He's got no utility. Shock has no nades to slow down this hit.
But the time, if he can slow them down, even with bullets, with 10 seconds left, Cloud9 need to get into the bomb site. They need to start planting soon, and that bomb nearly goes down to Tetris. Oscar trying to stop it, and now they have no time to win the round. So Icy dives down off the stairs, and Sinners pull it off.
Yeah, both teams, I think, right on the edge because of the damages they sustain against the pistols in terms of utility. So Cloud9 do a great job of making this defense, move around the map, pulling them back and forth, but they don't have the flashes to actually activate into the bomb site properly. So Sinners, as they rotate over with 15 seconds, is just like, everything's a fight. Everything. Slow down Cloud9. Make them work for every step they have to take. And it falls out of their hands. So advantage gained, 4-3 for Sinners. But Vertigo still not kind of settled. Both teams in terms of economy still not comfortable whatsoever. And Groove gets to have a little chit-chat. Talk to the boys.
I think both coaches are probably stressed out right now watching how many times their team has sustained heavy losses to pistols, how scrappy the early portions of this game has been.
Yeah, nothing going according to the game plan, nothing going according to the advantages that you feel you've gained. Yeah, it's a little bit awkward for them. But it's fun to see the players put under that kind of pressure to where they have to find solutions on the fly. Icy surviving has an AK-47, but none of that losing bonus filling his wallet, so he's got $0. Exile is going to have one flashbang to activate him to take B stairs control. And actually, Icy just says you don't need to use it. He'll go for a boost up.
Wow, how has he got here?
He's
so sneaky.
I love everything about this.
Oh, yeah,
go for the knife. Go for the knife.
No. What's he going to do here? What's his decision?
Come on, Boomich.
Boomich is just tracking. Morisco pulls out the knife, and now he's got an M4. That is a Boomich play right there. And now panic stations for the Sinners. They don't really know what they've lost. As Boomich gets cleared out in elevator, at least a kill comes back quite quickly from B-Stick, and they're sprinting up. Axel's got the bomb in his back as he tries to enter the A bomb side, but he's got no teammates with him. And now the B-Stick is taking Boomich out and taking some space over towards A. it is likely to fall apart here for Cloud9.
They had to take a risk somewhere, and I like the fact that Icy actually challenged for some of that control over at the B bomb site. He's thinking, if I can establish that nobody's actually here at the B site, I can pull everyone back and we've got a plant. Really nice attempt and good work from Buchholz to create something in that round. It's funny that the unarmored Glock is the thing that, you know, opens everything up.
True. Well, actually, it was the knife.
The knife. Good
but
point.
it's a lot of money for Buchholz.
Yeah.
Look at that. Off the back of it. He's got $6,000 now going into this round, so he can get that AWP out quite comfortably over to Icy if he
Which
wants
is
to buy
great
it
because
for him.
Icy had none of that losing bonus in the previous round, so he was really hurting for cash. And actually, you could go away from the AWP and drop a couple Galils, maybe a Tech 9. Icy's picked that up himself. So Buchholz has some money in the bank after the knife.
Able to spread the wealth. Shock going aggressive though. Inter's hiding his head down behind the generator, and just with the aggression, it's paid off here for Sinners.
That's the second time they've run that play, and the second time it's worked to get them an opening kill. This CT side from Sinners is maybe the cleanest we've seen them play on Vertigo throughout this series, and it's against probably the toughest competition they've had to go against in Cloud9.
Yeah, 13-4 start for Beastic 2. He had a great map over on Mirage. He's having a better map here on Vertigo.
Now smoke misses. Not ideal for Mikey. Drops between the steps. But Cloud9 not exploiting it whatsoever. They just want to gain control of stairs and say, we have the position to challenge you at the B bomb site, but we're not going to take it. Nothing fast in this half so far for Cloud9. No fast control of A ramp. No fast control of B stairs. Everything's been really quiet and measured. And it's allowing Sinners to keep a lot of utility in their belts for the late stages. And once indication is there that they're taking control, good chunk damage popped off by an HE grenade.
Oh, the spam's pretty close. A lot of damage towards Axel. I thought he was going to continue the spray to take him out of there, but he didn't. He stopped. Oscar, good shot onto the side. Buchholz going down. Second locked in for Oscar. And he's just hiding in at the elevator. Beastic's alongside of him, and Icy, well, there's nothing he can do about this. This is so strong from Sinners on the defense.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. I think the T side doesn't have a lot of strength to it right now either. Like, I think that's also part of the equation, is that Cloud9's not really doing a whole lot to make Sinners feel uncomfortable. You're using a lot of utility because you're going such a slow pace and you're delaying things towards the really late mid-round. You don't actually have utility to pull off the execute into the A. Like Oscar with an AWP is like, great. No flashes, no smoke blocking me off. I'll take that.
Yeah, free repeaks, free double. 9-5 here for Oscar. He'll continue to have his AWP as the CT side start to build money. And these rounds where Cloud9 do damage on pistols are great, but it doesn't really matter if you aren't able to capitalize in the gun rounds and break the economy of your opponent.
And you can't really rely that every time you're forced back down to pistols, you're going to be able to get 2 or 3 kills.
True.
Although they have been pretty consistent with it today.
Yeah, but as you said, like the longer the BO3 goes on, you're not going to see as many of those.
Dust2 would be a third and deciding map if Sinners can take us there. They're in a pretty good position to give themselves a first half to activate that third map.
Yeah, should be grabbing a 7th round here with relative ease. Oscar's got a nice gap to play with. Oh, and Icy's just shown a little bit too much to the shoulder there. So Oscar's gone ahead and taken him out of play. Inter's getting caught. Mauricio off the top, no problems. And the strong defense for Sinners, they don't lose anybody to these pistols. So it ends up going to a 7-3 scoreline. And they're absolutely putting themselves in a good position now to try and force a Vertigo win and get into Dust2.
We talked about Heavy God at the start of this half. He had some nice kills, some nice double entries in a couple of rounds. I think he went up to like 8-3. He's like 0-6 since then. He's really, really cooled down, but I don't think it's necessarily an individual thing. I think, again, this kind of slow-paced, like really cautious T side is backfiring on Cloud9 at the moment. Heavy God, the only player who has provided opening kills for the Cloud9 side at this stage in the game. 2-2 in his engagements, 0-3 for Inters, 0-2 for Buchholz on openings.
Good flash here, Mauricio. Going to be cleared out by Heavy God.
There we go. A little bit of a pace change.
Yeah.
Getting involved in the action earlier.
Got an AK back in his hands as well.
This is much nicer. Now look at this. You got all this control of ramp. You've got tons of utility if you want to keep moving forward. You can do the set piece. You can block off Oscar's lines of sight. Now we're playing Counter-Strike, boys.
Well, the util flying up. Oscar held back behind the fire and the flames right now, but Heavy God going down. A response from Shock. Icy doing what he can. Oscar had a chance. He did damage, but not enough to remove Inters from the server. And here comes the flank from Axel. He's been waiting for this all half long to finally come through mid and catch them looking the wrong way. 3v2, bomb planted.
This is pod racing.
Yeah, and let's see if Sinners actually go for the retake this time. They're in good positions, of course, so it looks like Mike is going to get a great opportunity here, but Intra spots him out, stops him from getting involved, and Oscar really had no moment where he could move forward. So Cloud9, a little bit of speed injected into things, and they get them away in towards this A bomb site and have a pretty strong close to the round.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. A little bit of energy in this game for Cloud9.
Well, that's one extra. Let's see if that speed continues, Jason, or if we go back to the slower stance that they've had throughout this half.
I think you got to do something with a little bit more pace. At least, I mean, you don't have to do that full kind of commit right out of the, right off that. I mean, the opening kill helps, obviously, from Heavy God and changes that you feel like you can actually pull the trigger on that execute after the fact. But just a matter of taking that map control earlier. You know, so much of this half for Cloud9 has been sort of take control of B stairs, but don't really challenge into the bomb site, right? Like, they've taken control of B stairs a number of times, but we haven't seen anyone, like, take that 1v1 duel on stairs into the bomb site to try and exploit Mikey. We haven't seen any lurk smokes or boost ups to try and really apply pressure to the bomb site. And I think that's the difference in this round. It's not just the pacing, but it's the fact that you're actually applying pressure. And that opens up the avenue for Axel's lurk in middle. But if you're just kind of taking control and not doing anything with it, you're not opening up any opportunities for teammates to play on other parts of the map. Cloud9's fortunate as well, I think, to get away with that round in a certain extent, just because they missed that smoke over the yellow wall to get into elevator. It was a little bit shallow, so there's actually a gap that Sinners could have exploited. And certainly now with this number of bodies, you are going to apply pressure to the B bomb site. So yeah, the pace has changed. The assertiveness has changed tactically from Cloud9. This time it won't pan out.
Well, not yet. Still could flip back in their favor with that kill from Boomich. Shock, though, waiting for his chance, looking over the top of the smoke, but the utility forces him away. And here comes the mid-fight, this time from Inters. He finds Impact to draw the numbers even to a 3v3, and he'll get out of there. He won't commit his life to the cause in mid. He wants to get out to the post plant down at the stairs, and Icy now committing to the plant. And here comes Sinners. They're quick about this retake. They're out in the fight. Morisco gets one. Boomich still alive, and around that corner, sent into the open. What a shot from Shock's Deagle. And they knew that flash had to come from somewhere, so they gotta look for Inters. And that smoke is onto the defuse. Oscar's around, protected by the double stack. He can't get the angle here, and it's a defuse stuck. Sinners go up 8-4 at the half. A strong CT side that has given them a real foothold on this map to try and force us to Dust2.
Yeah, Cloud9 really felt like needed the pistol round to have that good T side. I think they figured out that, you know, that little bit more aggression within the calling and within the players themselves was kind of the recipe. They just switched into it in the last 2 rounds of the half, and it wasn't enough. 8-4, really good job from Sinners, looking clean. And again, I mentioned in the pregame on Vertigo especially, we've seen so much of that disorganization of Sinners throughout this, but it's against the lower tier teams who just in general play more aggressive, play faster. And there was no pressure really from Cloud9 throughout that half to cause that collapse from the Sinners defense. So they had a pretty comfortable CT side, all things considered. So a little conversation during halftime. Let's see what Cloud9's defense is going to look like. Pistols bought, no dualies. Flashbang on Inters. There's the dualies on Icy coming in.
We see what he can do with those unspeakable things.
Well, Sinners can set themselves up very, very nicely with the pistol round victory to get to double digits early on and kind of coast into a map win. Towards the B-bomb site we go. Cloud9's defense centered on the map towards middle. Shock's going to get some attention. Oh, the timing on that. Turning to set up utility. So now they just have to pull the trigger on this B hit, and they're not having the flashbangs they would have liked.
Axel just waiting in behind the generators. Icy's so low. Another shot for Cloud9 landed. Bomb plant being secured as we speak here for the Sinners. So 2v4 thanks to that kill from Heavy God. Cloud9 have a huge advantage in terms of players, but will it be enough to get back into the bomb site here as Sinners dig deep?
Smoke clears and Icy runs in first to his death to show where the crossfires are going to be.
Well, there they go. The peaks come in, and immediately the numbers evened out. And remember, they're so low in HP, and Mikey gets a headshot regardless on intros, and Heavy God's left in a 1v2. From a 4v2 to 2 players versus 1 in favor of Sinners, it is an unbelievable turnaround in this post plant. Cloud9 see this pistol go the other way, and I don't think they're going to quite believe it, Jason, because they put themselves in a real powerful position.
Yeah, well, I mean, with that kind of a mid-push and setup from Cloud9, you don't actually have anyone in the B bomb site, so when they're rotating back to handle the B hit coming in, sort of out of position, a lot of goosh is dished out really early in this take from Sinners that put some low HP and made them easy to clean up as time went on. Mikey and B-Sick handling business in this B bomb site to take the pistol, and Sinners up by 5.
Up by 5, but it's about to be 6. I mean, you look at the situation going on here for Cloud9. It's USPs. They're going to dive down into the ramp, try and make the most of these flashes. And it's cleaned up. Heavy God, the only player grabbing a kill here for Cloud9, so double figures for Sinners, and Cloud9 just don't look very comfortable on this map.
No.
That and also Sinners are playing incredibly well. I mean, everybody, it's a good team effort. B-Stick leading the charge of 18.
You know, Mikey's even had some good impact, all things considered. I think he had. I think he's fortunate that Cloud9 wasn't super motivated on their T side to challenge into the B bomb site. Obviously, I think that B anchor on Vertigo is one of the toughest positions to play, one of the toughest roles in Counter-Strike, and he really didn't get a whole lot of pressure applied his way. You know, we talk about some of the individual skill of guys like Heavy God, Axal, and the omp of Icy. No one challenged him whatsoever. Axal is going to hold strong here at A. It's Heavy God to take the B anchor position that I just mentioned on the CT side for Cloud9. And B-Stick's been spotted a little bit early. They were really testing how much real estate Cloud9 was going to give them in middle, and they didn't like what they saw.
Boomich is always behind them. Boomich is always on the flank. Here he comes. Mikey, not going to enjoy that one.
Really sick timing on that flank. Like, Oscar's following in his tracks. 2 players coming down those T-spawn stairs. Now, Cloud9 might think the B bomb site is entirely open. Thankfully, Boomich gets the information. A Molotov will segment this attack. It's only Oscar, which makes him an easy cleanup, and Heavy God can slide into a strong position.
He's going to play behind the double stack and peek out, get in behind cover once again, and re-peek on the other side. Does damage to B-Stick, but his head is removed. And this would be a 1v3 for B-Stick if he's able to pull this off. And you can see Cloud9 electing to go for a double stack. One player on top of the other. Axel on the top, Icy just below him. And this should... Oh, the drop though. B-Stick knows where to look, but it doesn't matter when Icy hits the instant headshot as soon as B-Stick rounds the corner. Looked like Boomich wanted to get a better gun there, but it blasted off the map. So he's searching for it, couldn't find it. Cost him a few seconds in terms of repositioning and had to fight with the FAMAS instead.
Still, if you're Cloud9 and you want to start clawing back into this game, that's a lovely little round to handle. Never truly in danger of losing it despite taking 3 players in loss. But still a solid buy, and Boomich has his trusty SMG. MP9 in his hands, 1 AK-47 recovered on Icy. Sinner's going to run it back with 2 MAC-10s, and they're going to get right into the aggression.
Good start here from Axel. Morisco, he's gone, so another opening here for Cloud9 to work with.
Another opening for Axel. He got the first one in the previous round as well, holding onto the A bomb site, getting that first player coming up ramp. So good find for him, and starting to put some work in.
Boomich is just jiggling for info. As soon as he detects anything, he's going to throw that molly down, slow things down for Sinners. One minute left on the clock. Utility-wise for Sinners, they've got 3 smokes, 2 flashes, and a molly. So enough for a full execute.
Look what Cloud9 have though, because again, it's much like the first half because it's so quiet at the moment.
They have to just hold on to it.
Able to hold on to utility. Boomich will drop this, but once they eventually take this bomb site, plenty of Molotovs to delay the plant, harass the plant, harass the post-plant positions.
Well, here they come. Buchholz, close quarters with the MP9. Still comes out on top of the fight, despite looking the wrong way at the wrong time. Sinners move into the bomb site, but they're falling. With every step forward is another kill for Cloud9. Buchholz, that's why you called it his trusty SMG, because he's very effective with it. A double kill from him, despite having a weaker weapon. And a 6th round collected now for Cloud9 as they shrink the gap to 4.
Even when Buchholz is leading the major winning Na'Vi roster back in 2021, he loved those SMGs. It was a trademark playing banana on the CT side, always with an SMG, so he could just be mobile, could be very aggressive, could just be a nuisance. And he does lovely work with it here in this round. 6-10 and no plant means Sinners back to Glocks.
Exactly. They've broken the money, send them back down to the eco. And the gamble. As long as Cloud9 don't have an absolute disaster, an absolute nightmare here, it'll be a gap of 3 rounds. And then you're looking at a very possible comeback.
And we haven't even seen the op-out for Icy yet on this CT side. You have to imagine things are going to get more difficult. Icy sees the mid-play coming in, enters. Only gets the 1, but no danger. Only the Glocks, and they couldn't exploit anything. And actually, that allows Icy to pass over the AK-47 if he wants and pick up the AWP.
Yeah, that death is almost a blessing in disguise. And you can see he has actually gone for the AWP straight away. So he'll have that up. We'll see if that changes the game at all. And for Sinners, it's 5 AK-47s. And they can probably realize now at this point, if we don't win this, we are allowing Cloud9 back into this map. And we spoke about, throughout the Sinners games, we've got to cover the majority of them, I think with 3 out of 4. And we talked about their run and maybe having an opening game versus SAW, then the 3rd match was against a team from their own country. It feels like the Sinners run has been quite favorable to them.
Yeah.
This is the best chance to qualify. So they got to take it today against Cloud9, but being a map down and watching their Vertigo start to shrink away could get a little worrying soon for Sinners.
They had that really rough second half on Mirage where it took them a while to get around on the board. They at least got the pistol here, but certainly you lose this map after winning both pistols. You got to feel like you've set yourself up so nicely and let a great opportunity slip away. Cloud9 got money behind them to sustain round losses. Heavy got close up to boards at top of B stairs. He's got Inters in support. You have Icy with an AWP, keeping eyes on middle. Exile is the rotator at the B bomb site to help out with Buchholz taking A bomb site anchor duties. And they're going to make a little bit of a shift into the late round as the AWP holds on to the A site. Probably would have loved to have had that in middle, but now this setup at the B bomb site does wonders. Absolutely lovely. Bomb is dropped.
Oh, with Oscar taking a kill through CT, numbers are evened out at the 30-second mark, and Morisco moving forward up towards Tetris, making no secret about his position, and Inters hears everything. That bomb being picked up, and he's going to try and peek up and end it right now alone. He's so close, but Morisco fights on, and so it's down to Buchholz. And Morisco's looking for that fight, but Buchholz is not going to give it to him just yet. Grenade goes in, and he flies into the sky. Buchholz, I have no idea why he tries to force that fight. Morisco would have had to plant, and then he would have had a favorable fight, but Buchholz just jumps through the sky and gives away the 1v1 and allows Sinners up to 11.
I don't have an answer for that one.
Yeah, I did look at you, just kind of waiting for what you were going to say, Jason.
I don't know why. You have the nade primed, and it's like, wait for the plant. There's 18 seconds on the clock. I mean, you can really mess with him in that kind of a situation. I think Inters does lovely work in this round. A good reposition to push downstairs as well. Good find from Oscar on the lurk.
Yeah, you just wish Inters was in that 1v1, right? You just wish he was the one playing this. He would have played it better, but Buchholz, yeah. Not going to be happy with himself, that.
Yeah, I don't understand that decision in the 1v1. What he thought might have been happening, even kind of jumps into the edge of the smoke to make it even more difficult on himself. So kind of putting himself in a handicapped situation. Drops the AWP over to Icy, gets an M4 in return. But the Cloud9 comeback on this map just kind of slowed. It hasn't stopped just yet, but they're out of money after this. So if Sinners win, they're on 12. Cloud9 have no money, and then you've got us primed for Dust2.
Icy's holding a tight angle in mid. Looks like he's about to get plenty of opportunities for a kill here, but the utility if a good flash lands in front of him, it could be devastating.
And the boost up.
Yeah, there's
this
a lot.
This is a dangerous timing to be out here exposed.
Yeah, a lot of dangers coming this way. There's one, flashes up, gets around the corner, and he's close to a second, but Morisco does well at just dodging and weaving away from those shots. And Inters comes in to clean up at construction. His teammates are going down, but Boomich makes sure that the fight remains here for Cloud9. 1 minute left. Defensive smoke put up by Inters, and he drops back, but Oscar's going to try and move with it. Oh, he's clear behind the smoke.
They do have a Molotov to delay the plant a little bit, although Axile's not in position. He's holding on towards middle, and it looks like Sinners want to get a little bit aggressive. Bomb is dropped in mid, so they have to go hunt that down. They actually have to go find kills once these smokes clear. 38 seconds for them to piece this together.
Nice silent drop from Oscar, not to give away anything, but they are now getting closer and closer to that bomb, but the smoke goes up, severs off that pathway. Shadow spotted. Inters in the perfect position. They line up. Inters has a great round, 3 kills collected, and he's just so reliable for Cloud9.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's never going to light up the scoreboard for you, but he's going to be a rock in situations where you need someone to play an intelligent scenario, and he's done it again. Nice double kill to close things out. And it's Sinners who are put on the back foot. As a great chance to break Cloud9, to waltz into a map victory, to waltz into Dust2 with a win at your back. And now it gets more difficult. Cloud9 closing the gap slowly but surely.
Going for a peek down short, but it's quick here for the pistols. And Axel's going to handle business.
Axile's been great at this A bomb site. I know this is just an eco round, so we don't need to get too excited about it, but I think this is the 3rd or 4th round where he's got the opening kill of the round for Cloud9 at A. Done lovely work.
All out for Oscar again. Back to the buy straight away for Sinners. We didn't have to wait too long to get their buy back because that round was so quick.
Well, and the loss bonus is built up so far, right?
That's true,
yeah, so you're getting plenty of cash flow even without the bomb plants. 5 of the last 6 going in the favor of Cloud9 on defense. Only 1 single gun round won by Sinners so far.
Yeah, that was the 1v1 where Boomich flies through the sky.
Been a lot of questionable clutches these past few days for us, Dinko.
Yeah, quite a few. Mainly yesterday. Don't worry, Jason. It's all over.
It's all over.
Good start, though, for Oscar. A lot of these rounds have had Cloud9 finding the opening kill, right? This is a different story.
That one's through smoke, or maybe it was broken open, but regardless, a good find for Oscar to give his team a 5-on-4. So Cloud9 going to have to work this out as the round goes on. And Sinners, now it makes sense to do these kind of more slow, calculated paces. Cloud9 have a great read, though.
Heavy God and Inters ready to go around the corner. It's going to be Beast to pick up first, and Mikey on the follow-up. It's either go big or go home here. Icy only on the side. He's got a collateral, and that's one way to pull it back right away. Again, Icy is stepping up here for Cloud9, and the hearts of Sinners go cold as the sniper of Cloud9 is strong, but he has to do everything. A 1v2 as his team at Axel goes down, and they know where he is. They know he can't have gone far, but he gets below the scope. If he peeks in towards Oscar, he's right below him. The leg shot, and then the flick from Oscar down. It is all about the ops in this round, but it's Sinners that go to 12.
Man, Icy, what an attempt. The collateral is huge. Triple kill to hold on, all on his lonesome. Cloud9 just picked the worst moment to try and turn this corner. Icy does so much work, but none of his teammates can get anything done. A beautiful lurk from Shock being patient, and Oscar is prepared with the leg shot. A sigh of relief as Icy's shot just goes a little bit low. 3 chances for Sinners to close it out, but it's still a strong buy for Cloud9.
Shock. Just clearing that boost out in the middle. Heavy God took a tick of damage, literally 1 HP. But it gave away the sound cue regardless, and he has to fall away. Morisco looking to use this gap on the ramp smoke. Just to the right side, he can walk around behind it, and as it fades away, he'll now try and get ever closer up the ramp, but look who's waiting for them. Icy, who was last detected towards the B-bomb side in the previous round. He's changed it up. He's gone to the catwalk with the AWP here.
Yeah, well, Oscar's going to be peeking into the site, so nobody can be exposed. Oh, missed shot. No. And now they're going to swing wide, and he recovers another leg shot. Another heartbreaking leg shot for Icy.
Oh, that's going to be so devastating. Boomich goes down. Oscar stepping up right at the end, and Sinners are going to force a map 3. Dust2 will await and decide who is heading to the Major in this series. Heavy God will come back over from the B bomb site, but it's Oscar to close it, and a 13-9 finish. Sinners battle through Vertigo, and they remain in this series.
Well, if Cloud9 are going to secure it today, it's going to be via the scenic route. We have a game on our hands. Sinners taking their map pick of Vertigo.
Final map. We started to come back into that Cloud9 in the second half. Just not enough done in the first half, Jason, to really allow them that Vertigo win.
I'm just excited that Dust2 is going to be the final map, because that Vertigo is very slow and cautious from Cloud9, and like this allows you to open up a little bit of the playbook in terms of your pacing, in terms of fast tactics, and obviously on the CT side some aggression as well. We see a lot of teams now pressuring lower, pushing mid, pushing catwalk and Xbox, and having some presence to hold control of middle. There's a lot of cool things that can be done on Dust2, and I'm excited to see both these teams just take the gloves off, get stuck into it. Let's get a little bit of a death match going on here on Dust2.
Well, Marisco takes a smoke to the head, and he's going to be smoked out in middle, and Axel moving up through short quite quickly now. Some space grabbed, and Marisco, he's trapped. He's stuck in the lower tunnels. He's going to be rattling off shots with the Triple Red as they dive down. They look to fight him. Heavy God clears him out. And that gives some space now for Cloud9 to work with up through short in this 4v4 thanks to Shock.
Yeah, really lovely shot to find that equalizing kill as well. But, however, Cloud9 is already set up to go for a catwalk execute. They can throw out the utility and actually drop into a mid to B split. You're going to have Heavy God lurking at the moment in lower dark. And if Oscar tries to push and get a jump on this flank, he's certainly going to go down. So Beestick looking like he's going to be called upon again. Drop into CT spawn. And there's that push from Oscar. Beestick and towards long A. That's perfect. Him and Mikey. A lovely little crossfire. And Cloud9 make no progress.
Well, Heavy God is going to do what he can. I mean, he's had such a quiet series so far today by his own standard. Bottom of the team. This would be a massive moment to step up for Heavy God. They've spotted him out on short. But it just looks difficult with one player in the bomb site and Mikey out towards ramp. Two very different angles that Heavy God would have to compete with, and they just don't allow it to happen. So Sinners with the pistol picked up here on Dust2. No bomb plan for Cloud9, so no force buy coming right up. And this is going to allow Sinners a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, dang. Just not able to make it into that A site whatsoever. The drop down to try and wrap. They expose themselves to the long player. Beestick inside the site just does great work. And I think once you hit the deck on that drop-off catwalk and you realize Beestick kicks off your third teammate, you're just kind of like, oh, we're in some trouble. We're having issues.
Not necessarily the best day of T sides here for Cloud9.
Not necessarily the best nade from the CT side there.
No. They have 4 rounds on Vertigo on the T side. Barely got the 6 on Mirage.
It was a good number of rounds. It just didn't feel great watching it for whatever reason. It's like the numbers look good, but I, some reason, just don't have a great feeling about how that went.
I'll have to wait and see what the T side of Dust2 looks like. Right now, not off to the best start. Nice and clean from Sinners. No damage done from Cloud9, and they're going to get themselves into the buy rounds.
Yeah, nice and early.
I think both first buy rounds on the T side for Cloud9 have been pretty weak.
Yeah, both of them were plays through smoke. On Mirage, it was the bust through the B hall smoke to get taken out by an MP9. What was it on Vertigo? It was like a B stairs, right? They like tried to force themselves through the smoke. No, it was in middle.
Yeah,
it was in middle. Yeah, they tried to go through the mid smoke with like 3 or 4 players and spammed down by Oscar, taken down by rotation. So yeah, first gun rounds, Cloud9, their T sides have not gotten out to great starts.
Oh. Good work from Mikey, though. Just gets off to the edge, and Heavy God goes down first with that long spawn. So he's out of there. Cloud9 down to a 4v5 immediately.
Yeah, you love that opening, and Cloud9 have all 4 players here. They're not spread across the map, and the danger about that is already Marisco just kind of took a flashbang peek towards lower and saw absolutely nothing, so he can shift over with confidence, but Cloud9 just decide to back off. They're like, we know that you know that we've taken long, and now we want to subvert expectations. And you can see Sinners bust out that, I guess it's not really new anymore, but this smoke towards long to prevent and delay the push from the T side. You have 1 smoke for the cross, so keep an eye on when Inters puts that out because they have to use it.
Yeah, well, they've gone for that re-smoke, but this time it has a little bit of a gap left side. That'll clear up soon, and Axel's just going to move through it. And a great shot from Icy. So B-Stick to hit the deck. Mikey's low on HP inside of the bomb site. He's going to swing into the open and try and challenge some of these long plays. That cross smoke misses terribly.
Where did it go?
It just landed up on the roof.
Oh, no.
That is a disastrous smoke for Cloud9. Now they got a rum boost boomage across, and
It never works.
As well.
It never works. It's a classic in Counter-Strike. The long run boost cross. It never, ever works.
All right.
I'm trying to...
Attempt 3. Nope. There we go. He got across this time. And Oscar didn't even see it happen. So the bomb plant's coming in, but all that wasted time has allowed them to come around long. And as good as Inters is, he wasn't predicting the second player and needed to cover off the plant regardless. So now it is Boomich to try and win this 1 versus 2. The AWP of Oscar will be coming through short. And Morisco is just taking his time, allowing his teammate to move. And eventually throwing some utility out long to draw the attention of Boomich in that direction. But Oscar, oh no, not looking good, but eventually does get that shot to land on Boomich, and it'll end up being a round win for the Sinners.
Poor Boomich is just like, I've got a lot of real estate to run to get away from this op. All right, well, maybe if that smoke lands, it turns out differently. Inters, we keep mentioning such a reliable, consistent rock when you need them, and not this time. Nobody's perfect.
Oh, you feel pretty bad when you miss that smoke.
You do, because there really is only one person that can be pointed to as the mistake.
Yes. Well, they tried to make the most of it. They were problem solving in the moment, and the run boost isn't a bad idea, but that's another bad gun round, well, opening gun round for Cloud9.
Trying to remember exactly what caused. I think there's like a change in elevation in the ground at long that messes with the run boost, which is why it always seems so difficult.
A little skybox or something right above your head too. It felt like he was hitting some, like a lamp or something. So, yeah, it's kind of weird.
A little street light.
Yeah, might be something along those lines. You did see Boomish's head kind of hit off something. But regardless, Cloud9, they're going to be down to Tech9's P250.
Lurk smoke out middle. B-Stick is going to investigate around it cautiously. And now that he has this information, it's not going to have the impact that Cloud9 want. They want to make Sinners feel like a lot of this thrust is going to come from middle, but it's all coming through B.
No, Boomich just charged now with the P250. Smoke fades away, and B-Stick up in the window, laying down the law. It's going to be B-Stick and Shock with a good couple already locked in. And it ends up being Icy and Axel left alone. Should be cleared out by Morisco, but Icy, again, finding Cloud9 a way into these fights. He eventually goes down. And Axel's coming out of the tunnels at this point. Morisco's got his AK out, but he can't stop him. It requires Oscar.
It's happened again, my man. It's happened again, these Cloud9 pistols doing work where it feels like they really shouldn't. There were 3 players at that B bomb site and a great crossfire at Car and inside the bomb site, and Cloud9 still make the Tech9 sing. 4-0, but Sinners take a lot of economic damage in that round, so a lot of the money that they built up previously has gone to waste.
Yeah, but if you're Cloud9, you have to capitalize on the opportunity you've created here with something that they struggled on, Vertigo. You know, they couldn't really get that gun round after the pistol damage. And despite setting themselves up multiple times throughout the half, were unable to get the T side going. Icy's got the AWP out early here on the T side. He's had a great series so far. Shock and Oscar with a double push into the tunnels. That flash forces them back and also gets information as to where the AWP is.
I really like the Sinners that we've watched today.
Almost like feels like they're their best series yet.
Yeah, it feels like they've built up into the RMR, and like now that this the chance to actually qualify for the major is there, they're all fully focused and locked in. I'm seeing a lot more intelligent plays. I'm seeing a lot more like calculated risks in terms of, you know, we just saw that upper B push to try and get in position. Flashbang forced him off the angle, but I like kind of the variety of the defense we're seeing at the moment, and not as many like crazy disorganized peaks or plays and overextensions that we had against some of the lesser teams on their route to this 2-1 game.
B-Stick using the fire as a little bit of cover, unable to take the first fight and make it go his way as that bomb plant is being secured on the back of the site. It's going to be B-Stick now moving forward. Interest to clear him out in response, and a nice shot from Oscar as he tucks in behind the car. Sinners have been great at retakes, And now that they're a player up, it feels pretty good for their chances again. Axol's in middle.
Yeah, well, they know there's a lurk coming in somewhere. It's obviously not towards long at the moment, but Sinners have eyes on every little location, and Icy picks one off. Heavy God adds 2 kills with the AK-47, and Shock spent so much time looking for the lurk. Eventually, Exile hunts him down. First round for Cloud9 on the board.
No, Oscar has a lot of money here.
He's got to make a decision, though.
Do not.
Do you want the AWP? Do you want to drop an M4? He wants the AWP.
He wants the AWP. Of course he does. Let's see what they do around this AWP, because surely it's not just going to be USPs. See some Deagles, at least 5.7s around it.
You can just do the pistols around it. You just have to be very cognizant of helping Oscar save that weapon, but Oscar's left enough in the bank that if he does go down, he can have a weapon in the next round, but really you're just saying Dust2 is a map where a single AWP can turn the tide, so let's give Oscar a chance.
Tall mid push, prevented by Icy.
And Boomich.
And Boomich.
Don't forget about Boomich.
Yeah, never can forget about Boomich. What a career Boomich has had. Obviously, had a time away from competitive play. Had to come back and earn a spot in the top team again, and finds himself here in Cloud9 looking to try and make it to a major. A lot of people see that the Na'Vi era that was possible being set up in 2021 could have taken away from them in a way.
Ripped out of their hands.
Yeah, and Boomich could have been a massive part of that.
Well,
to see what he could do with this Cloud9 roster if they do manage to make it through today. I
mentioned Cloud9 is going to, I mentioned Sinners is going to be really cognizant of how they position this AWP as this round kind of plays out, and I think they've got a pretty solid situation going on. Oscar can have relative safety out towards long if they exec up Catwalk. If it's this mid to B split that's coming to fruition, take some blind shots, but don't get involved in any fights, don't budge, and you've got 2 pistols out towards long to help keep them safe and ensure that the AWP can be brought forward into the next round.
Oh, gap over the top of the smoke. That was the chance for Oscar. He'll send the shot out.
Okay, well, if I'm Sinners, I'm hunting now.
Yeah, because you know it's available.
And the pistols have just pushed to give up their lives, so now Oscar's got no backup and no support.
And they know it's an AWP, so here they come. It's going to be a difficult road here for Oscar to go down to try and save this AWP. They're coming in from all sides, all fronts. And Oscar looks to defend his prized weapon.
Hard times make hard AWPers.
And Oscar, great shot. Couple more of those needed. Goes in for a second, looks out to the long push. Oscar with some great shots, but there's just too many targets, and he'll go down. Like you said, he did save enough money left over, and with a couple of kills at the end there too, it just gives him a couple $100 extra on top. So $3,950 is not the best scenario for Oscar.
You know, but MP9, FAMAS, if you want to go for a more rifle, you could even go for a scout if you're feeling crazy.
You can go for an M4 too.
You could go for an M4 if you don't want utility. Yeah. I thought, you know, I'll be honest with you, I didn't even have that in my head as an option.
Yep.
I had in my head that utility would be prioritized. I was incorrect.
Get the gun out. Icy on top of his teammate's head, boosting down into middle. Boomich is sent forward. Good damage done onto Oscar. He's going to cross in towards CT. Marisco also, bit of chip damage to the doors. Quite an isolated player at the moment. Shock inside of the B-bomb site with just an MP9. Fortunately, not being pressured.
Catwalk.
Here's the push. 1-for-1, and Mikey, he's got another one out of it before Icy trades him out. So a 3v3, minute left on the clock, and that bomb going back over towards the tunnels, but it's no longer just Shock alone.
Yeah, it's almost like Cloud9 want to do a little misdirection, but I think they're going to get caught. This push, that's fine. That's fine because you still have Shock here. I don't think they'll expect a second player boosted up like this, and he's going to hear the footsteps. So he's telling Oscar right now, they're coming to this B bomb site. Start getting a move on. Stop walking. I'm going to need some help. And he's in a position where he can grab 2 if they're not ready for this position.
And Shock sweating up. Good job done. MP9 is good for a second, and Shock has slowed them right down. Takes the health out of Exile, and Oscar asked to clutch. He's going to be coming up that B ramp. Bomb plant being secured. Oscar has no utility, as we mentioned at the start of this round. But let's see if that M4 is worth the expense. Smoke fades away, and Exile will win it in the 1v2 to save Cloud9's bacon and give themselves a third round to play with.
Nicely done from Exile. A really good attempt at holding on to the B bomb site. Double kill from Shock. Almost even getting the third, dinking up Exile. But as the smoke fades, Exile's ready for it. Oscar never had the indication. And that's a big time win from Cloud9. Timeout taken so Groove can have a chat. He knows they need to build upon this. They need to string some rounds together. Third and deciding map in this qualification series for Sinners. Oscar would make it to his 5th major. Beastick, Shock, Morisco, Mikey would all be at their 1st major if they can convert Dust2 here.
Not a lot to work with now for Sinners, whose scoreline is about to be tied up, and a great shot from Icy. One on the cross. Shock didn't make it. Here comes Heavy God out long. Mac-10 leading that charge, and Inters to follow up.
All right.
On Morisco.
Cloud9's starting to build into this a little bit.
Yeah, they are.
Can even up the score at 4-4.
Heavy God's had a decent start to the game. I mean, I'm definitely watching him throughout this final map. I hit a strong start on Vertigo, just wasn't able to keep it up. Obviously a really quiet Mirage, but when it comes down to the deciding maps, you want your big players there. And if he can join Icy, there's a lot of firepower now on the Cloud9 side.
Yeah, we haven't really seen the qualities of Heavy God in this series that make him such an interesting and exciting player and prospect quite yet.
Not yet, but there's still time, still space to work with here on Dust2. And an AWP tossed over towards Oscar as the buy returns here for Sinners. The last time he had the AWP out, the highlight moment was trying to save onto it. Did manage to get involved in the round and really had changed the outcome, but this time that'll be a different story as has the rest of the supporting cast around him with the M4s. Oscar's got eyes in the lower tunnels. Needs to be careful. He's aware of the possibility of a boost, but it's going to be an off-the-off battle, but the timing. Just as soon as Oscar was about to walk into the crosshair of Icy, they decide to deconstruct that boost. Swinging to short, though. Oh, this could be worrying. Oscar's going to go up, seize the feet of Icy, and is able to shoot his leg off, but Icy will still stand to fight in the round.
Yeah, but happy to take that damage and soften him up for later. That's a kill that Sinners can clean up relatively quickly in some kind of a situation in the late round. Molotov's out everywhere, mid, B tunnels, and out towards long, so Sinners just happy to delay for the moment. 1 minute on the clock as Cloud9 make their way up catwalk. They know the AWP was boosted there, so you can imagine they have an understanding. Last time they came here, Oscar's AWP over towards Car, Beastick over at the railing, play passive. Very similar setup now.
Smoke execute created here for Cloud9. They're going to try and get their way close to the bomb site, and they are very close now. Flash is going in, keeping Oscar back. As long as they keep that AWP pinned, it's going to be difficult for Oscar to get involved, but eventually gets his chance, and he will not miss it. Heavy God goes down, Boomish to follow, and Cloud9, only now are they getting to plant. Sinners looking so good in this round. 5v2. Cloud9 have been unable to trade any of these kills so far, and it falls down to Axel and Icy to try and close out this post plant. But look how many players from Sinners are now swarming the site. Icy gets annihilated. And Axel has nothing to say. So not a single kill for Cloud9 as Sinners take the lead again.
That's so clean. Although, if I'm Cloud9, I'm almost thinking in my head, like, maybe this is a trap way of thinking, but I'm almost saying, like, we're getting so much real estate over at the A bomb site. Like, yeah, we have Oscar Akar, the AWP is going to be there, but Beastick is playing very passive on the ramp. No one's challenged during the entire progression into the bomb site until that shot from Oscar. So if you have enough flashes in the late round for these catwalk executes, you can keep Oscar blind to your entire progression, and you can just get a bomb plant. That might be something Cloud9 just say, we can continue to kind of abuse that, and if you can get some lurkers in some good positions, you can cut off some of those rotations and really have impact. Icy going to get boosted up, but a smoke on the cross allows the defenders to get over safely. And 3 players for C9 coming into the tunnels down towards lower. Oscar's off is going to be here and did not expect that timing whatsoever. Sidelined. Trying to peer up towards middle.
Mikey's moved into the longhouse. Icy's watching for any further aggression, which doesn't look like it's going to come through from Mikey until he gathers the information that it is a wise move. They've moved their way through middle doors, and Axel is alongside Heavy God. The bomb currently positioned in the tunnels. It's on the back of Inters still. Smoke out towards CT. Flash going forward. Shock to set up his teammate for the swing. And Morisco goes into that fight. Shot from the window. Great shot on Axel. 3v3. Pressure now on the B defender as Inters is applying pressure towards his position with the bomb at his back. And Boomich trying to join his teammate. But Mikey, remember him. He was at long. And he's pushed all the way through the lower tunnels. So Inters is now surrounded on all fronts. He has to worry about the player within the bomb site. One to the doors. And he doesn't know it yet. But Mikey's climbing above him. And eventually the headshot comes in from Shock at the back of the site, and Sinners extend their lead on the defense.
Beastic still having an absolutely lovely day. This series has been phenomenal for him.
Yes, it has.
Absolutely wonderful. You got to be so pleased if you're Sinners, you're getting this kind of a performance in such a critical match. First timeout taken from Cloud9 as they want to talk things over. Groove's not liking what he's seeing. T-side not impactful so far. A couple catwalk executes have netted them. No wins. Mid to be split now, just shut down.
Yeah, after the first 2 maps of play, Beastic was 42 and 28 with a 1.31 rating, and it is continuing here, which is super positive for Sinners.
And that's a 4v5 conversion for Sinners. Oscar got taken down for free. He was peeking off catwalk towards the top middle and just got trucked from lower, but they're not able to convert.
Another T side that doesn't have a whole lot of output for Cloud9. It's tough because they don't have enough money to get a full buy here either. You can certainly get some upgraded pistols. Even a Hero 8K if you want it. But it's just going to be the Tech 9s. Axel having the most money. Has only bought a Molotov. He can save and drop an AWP over to Icy into the next round. Receive a rifle from Icy in return. But Sinner's about to go to 7 rounds, Jason, and it starts to sink in now that this becomes a reality that Sinners could be going to the Major.
It's a very real possibility where it maybe didn't feel like coming into this matchup, just especially by virtue of the names that we're seeing. Tons of Major experience for Boomich. Axile's been at 4. I think Inters has been at 3. You look at that and say, with that kind of experience, this is a game you guys should be able to handle for qualification.
Yeah, and of those 3, it's been 3rd to 4th place in Stockholm, quarterfinal at the IM Rio Major for Inters, and obviously got removed from the squad for the Copenhagen one. Here's Morisco out to the doors. Good kill from Boomich. There's always a little bit of potency in these Tech 9s for Cloud9, but Beastic's going to hold it from the car, and he's got Shock beside him. So far, yeah, now it won't get out of hand at all. So Icy gets caught by Mikey. 7-4 locked in for Sinners. Last round of the half coming right up.
I'm going to give him props again, just because this is awesome. But I mentioned Beastic still having another good game here. He's been kind of the player who gets to be really mobile and move around the map based off feeling. We see him a couple times. He's over in middle when there's a mid to B split. He has a good read this round. 3 players positioned at the B bomb site to defend against that. Clutches Cloud9 off guard. And whenever they've executed catwalk, he's over at the railing being a nuisance. So he's always been at the point of the attack, having impact, providing help. And look at this little round from Sinners. 1 player going A, 3 into the B bomb site, 1 in middle. You have to imagine this is to set up a push. However, it should be punished. Icy misses the shot but sees the elbow, but they still don't have information on numbers.
Icy once again having to start a round with low HP.
It feels like with where the bomb is dropped for Cloud9, they want to just kind of clear out middle and take control of it, but it feels like they want to apply pressure to the B bomb site, which is playing right into Sinner's hands at the moment.
Shock's holding this angle, this tight angle that might catch Icy out, but he's so quick on the scope. He loses more of his health. He's down to 21, but he'll take that fight on B, and he'll be happy he won it. Cloud9 with the advantage will now slip down into the lower tunnels. And see if they have a follow-up plan from their original idea.
I might just walk out and execute a mid to B split, right? You lose a B player, you think that mid player might just shift over to the bomb site. Yeah, long push coming in. That might change things now as well, because it's a two-man advantage for Cloud9. They can play it patient. 45 seconds on the clock. Mid to B smoke deployed to make the defense nervous. Oscar is going to shift over to try and watch CT spawn. But there's still two players in B. This is recoverable for Sinners.
Well, charging through into the B-bomb side. Morisco needs to go massive from the window. It's B-Stick stepping up from behind the car, but his teammate's now gone. Oscar takes a risk, goes through the smoke, gets another kill picked up, but it's B-Stick to close out this half. And they realize he's in the site. So they leave Boomich at the window. And Icy will take that bomb and run it all the way up short. It'll fall to a 1v1 fight if he can remove Boomich. But Boomich is doing a great job at just wasting time and buying more of it for Icy to get that bomb planted.
Oh, you can't make that long jump with this HP.
This is crazy. Icy's going to go for the fight, though. He's just going to take that shot down CT spawn. Icy wins the essential 1v1 to give Cloud9 an extra round to play with going into the second half.
Yeah, man, if Morisco had gotten that second kill coming through window, it could have been all different. But once again, I think it's a great call from Sinners. They have it set up perfectly to defend against what Cloud9 was busting out and just can't convert all the kills necessary. Still, got to say, good CT half. 7-5 in their favor as we switch sides. And Cloud9 get to play a little D. And we'll see what they're able to handle.
Their CT sides have been way better.
CT sides have been solid for Cloud9 today, yeah.
So that every T round that you win is just a positive for Cloud9 because it's last rounds that you have to win on the CT side, and they've been great at the CT side so far. So Icy's op in particular, man, when he's been able to get that out in the defense, wow, it's been special. So I hope we get to see that early. I hope they get control of the money and Icy gets to get that op out. For Sinners, it's the opposite, right? They want to make sure that they prevent that cash buildup for Cloud9. I think they've done a pretty decent job of that at times. Let's see what the pistol round idea is here for Sinners. You got a lot of util. B-Stick with a smoke. Had a molly as well.
And remember, Sinners won both pistol rounds on Vertigo that allowed them to convert them, that helped them convert the map and bring it to Dust2 in the first place. They won the first pistol round here on the CT side. They win another one. You're setting yourselves up very, very nicely. A similar situation where a pistol round victory pushes you into quite a lead and close to that major qualification. 3 players towards Buchholz. B-Stick looking and gathering information on any mid-push together with Morisco. But they never spotted Exile.
Yeah, Exile just waiting with the dual Berettas, ready to go. He can unleash hell upon these 2 players. He's got the first. Great secret play from Morisco, though. Silently moves in behind the box, doesn't reveal his position, waits till Exile turns, and then just comes out for that trade kill.
Yeah, I almost think Exile was expecting a little bit more aggression from his teammate up on Catwalk to watch Lower Dark, to have his back, to at least be a distraction, or at least maybe you get a lucky headshot, save his life. But he was very much isolated and alone, despite 2 Cloud9 players being kind of aggressive with him. So 4 on 4, 1 minute left on the clock, and Sinner's going to fall back into this B hit. They have no smoke to chuck out towards window or double doors. They do have a molly for back plat. But Heavy God will have his chance to snatch a headshot. And Boomich is here in support as well.
Heavy God off the platform. A lot of pressure, not landing enough shots. Eventually does get one. They won't prevent Sinners from maintaining the player advantage with Boomich going down quickly after. 3 versus 2.
This is a tough retake.
Go straight through the doors. The bomb isn't down. He's caught. B-Stick once again from behind that car, delivering impact. And as good as Inters is, these aren't the rounds that he's able to win. He goes down, knocked off the window. Sinners have that pistol round, both now on Dust2, and this is looking real good for them.
Yeah, this is lovely. Exactly what you want if you're Sinners. Inters did grab that kill from Catwalk. It was an Exile with the dualies. So that Catwalk player was aggressive. My apologies, Inters. Just the follow-up play from Exile is turns his back and gets taken down. Not able to have as much impact as he would have liked on the mid-push. or the lower dark push. So only USPs for this CT side. Boomich with one flashbang to activate in case they come out long, and it's there. Nade stack as well. Good damage. Oh, you got to give it up, Mikey. Don't lose this AK-47. Half HP. You don't need these fights, but he's going to rattle off some kills. And now it's time. As ammunition runs low, let him have the Galil. That gun sucks.
The Galil just catching strays. Boomich, though, he's going to make it work and upgrade into the AK-47.
Yeah, they're going to wrap around him and take it back anyways. Oscar with the MAC-10 coming in hot, and he's going to wait patiently. Boomich falling back, so Oscar's going to be able to peek out with impunity, having timing, listening to the footsteps the whole way.
He's going to start moving off of the elevator spot now and wrapping around the back of Boomich. Great play from Oscar, not just swinging, not just taking that fight and giving a 1v1.
4-round lead for Sinners. Looking to cause an upset here and qualify for the major.
Yeah, getting closer to major qualification. It's crazy to sit here and just watch in 2024, towards the end of 2024 as well. We're watching Oscar back in the server looking to qualify for a major again. He's going to do it with a new organization. A lot of new players from his own country. Cloud9 still could prove to be a difficult team to put away here.
You know, I think for someone like Oscar, I think it's going to be a point of pride as well if he's able to help make a Czech team qualify for the major.
Absolutely. Especially in a scene that is so international team heavy. Sinners ready to go for a pop into the B bomb site. Two players here designed to deal with it. Inter's, blinded, completely counts it out. His teammate does nothing. Heavy God just gets hard cleared, so Inters has to make up
3 bullets
for the mistakes, and he gets taken out by Morisco. So the B bomb site falls eventually, and Morisco is looking sharp.
Nasty little double kill to secure the bomb site. If you're Icy and Boomich, I don't think they want to go for this.
There's no money left over.
Yeah, they have no kit. They do have a little bit of utility. Icy's got Molotov smoke, but they back off quickly. Sinners just a nice B-pop with flashbangs. Can you believe it? Almost
no, I can't,
about
Jason. I can't believe it at all. I think right now when you're looking at Sinners as well, what the best part is they're playing with so much power across the entire team. But it isn't just a hard carry from a few of the players here. It's everyone having a great moment. Mikey in this map, B-Stick has just been a beast throughout all 3 maps so far.
I think also one of the great things is Sinners is keeping it really, really simple. They're not trying to do too much across the map, not trying to do too much fancy plays, not trying to spread out and play this heavy tactical game. A lot of it's been focused on entries, on trading off the back of that. The fact they just turned the corner, 4 flashbangs come in, Inters gets blind. They just destroy Heavy God over at Carr, who's able to mount no resistance whatsoever. And Sinners inch ever closer to the major.
Cloud9 just kind of fumbling through whatever utility they can actually muster, whatever upgrades they can get. But these safe weapons alongside some upgraded pistols better pull off a miracle for Cloud9. Otherwise, 11-5. They're going to buy coming up in the next round here.
The Sinners organization itself has never been at a major.
No.
So big things for everyone involved.
I mean, in the past, the only good thing about Sinners was their Vertigo, right? They would go to tournaments, like they would qualify for Pro League, and they would have a little upset on a map, and then it would just turn into...
We are specialists on the map that no Europeans play.
Actually, they were the original 9.
Okay.
Yeah, you remember 9 were playing just Vertigo Masters?
I do.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. But now, a lot more depth to them all of a sudden.
Looks like we're going to get something similar yet again out of Sinners.
All right.
You can see Morisco's in position to drop a smoke and make some fake over at Catwalk, but Heavy God's already spotted out information. They just want to take advantage of this. Oh, 4 players ready to take down anyone who peeks in. And now they're going to press forward. 2 defenders here.
Inters with the Deke, goes down without a fight. And Axel's moved into the bomb site, but he's got to go massive. 1 kill on the M4 is not going to be enough. 11 rounds to 5 for Sinners.
Yeah, they are getting absolutely picked apart, Cloud9. Icy is here. And it looks like he might want to challenge a little bit, see if he can create an opportunity for Boomich on the flank, who indeed gets a kill with the 5-7. And now this could get interesting. Is Boomich just going to back off and save? This might be a round they just want to try for. Especially now that Icy's grabbed a kill as well. 2 on 2.
Called the round done, but immediately Cloud9 come right back into it. All of a sudden, the round goes in favor of Cloud9 on the retake. Yeah, scoreline that definitely should have been 11-5. Sinners let it go. Cloud9 fight their way back in. And now they've got plenty of cash.
There we go. That's Cloud9, a 2v4 post-plant retake. And Sinners, those are opportunities you cannot let slip away, or else Cloud9's going to come back into this one. So it's set up quite nicely for us off the back of that round. Icy's got the AWP back in his hands. And man, Sinners got everything they wanted. They played this so well. Molotov towards back plant, follow-up entry, 1-for-1 trade on the anchor inside the bomb site. Morisco coming back to check the flank a little bit late, and Boomich already had a solid position. Good shot with the 5-7. But it's going to get more and more difficult for Sinners to close this out.
Grenade from Morisco. So I'm going to do a whole heap of damage. But does put him in the territory that he can be insta-dinged. Sinners occupy the tunnels. Quite a number of their gun rounds have been B-focused. Oscar's job is to just make sure they don't push out long. Mid to B utility thrown in with alert smoke out of the tunnels. I'm going to start moving through it. Exile, he's in the position ready to fight them. Goes through with a flash. It's actually Oscar to chime in with that shot on Exile. So opening kill goes the way of Sinners. And now the B bomb site is probably feeling a lot of pressure. These two plays in the site. Heavy God and Inters haven't necessarily been able to hold on to this B bomb site a whole lot. But this time, it's a different story. Heavy God actually gets some work done from the car. He takes damage, but he's still fragging. 20 seconds left for Oscar and B-Stick. B-Stick is locked in now towards CT, so it's Oscar that needs to make the play out. 10 seconds, he goes down to Heavy God, and a much different round from Heavy God.
Yeah, there we go. There's some of the flash of that brilliance. Beautiful shots. Heavy God down on low HP early. Recovered the up for Icy into the next round, but a beautiful hold of this B bomb site. It's been very tunnel vision for Sinners because they've had a lot of success on those B pops, but now that it's fallen this flat, they might have to adjust elsewhere. Might have to look to a different part of the map to find success. I think that round, just no actual utility to activate into the B bomb site. That split had no strength behind it. No flashes to blind anyone, take them off the initial angle. No utility to get some space that Sinners can take and slide into. And on top of all of it, Heavy got hitting some absolute bangers for a triple kill. Timeout second taken for Sinners.
And likely realizing that the adaptations are required because they've leaned on B, and Heavy God has now arrived. So, how many times do we see Heavy God go down in that? They had that exact setup, right? They have Inters under the window playing behind that default box, and you have Heavy God a car. How many times has Heavy God just died with nothing?
Yeah.
And then it's Inters either having to go massive or there were some rounds lost. It's happened so many times.
Well, this time Heavy God steps up, so let's see if that can continue. Sinners, I don't think we're really all that motivated to buy. They still have that 3-round lead that they want to kind of play with those extra rounds that they have for themselves before committing to any kind of an investment. So just the AK-47 on B-Stick to try and chip away at some of the economy. Molotov going to force him away. Nade hurts a lot. Mikey's dead. And actually, Heavy God said, I want a double op setup.
Yeah.
I'm not passing this off.
He's got that confidence back now. He's like, yep.
Well, he's been pressured so much, and they've gone to this B bomb site so much, and he's like, okay, if you guys are just going to keep popping and contacting through Buchholz, like, please do it again. Now that I have the op, please come.
They're going to avoid him via the tunnels at least. They're going to go out through the mid doors, and Axel's in a perfect position here. There's no smoke for the cross. So this M4 should just light them up. They don't fully extend. They don't give him the free fights. They just get the info that he's playing that and then send the AK to watch the angle, but
good
fantastic
setup.
flashes coming in and really good team play. It's going to allow Axel to get a kill without putting himself in harm's way, and the low HP, the poison chalice of that AK-47 as they try and pick it up. Axel's got an ace. He got all 5 holding on that mid push.
Yeah, good job from Axel. Nice setup as well, as you mentioned. Good teamwork from the B bomb site. Inter is chucking out a flashbang. Axel sets it up with 2. B-Stick's looking for the repeat. Flash comes from the other angle. He never saw it coming, so absolutely perfect. Cloud9 just 2 rounds back, and this double up setup has yet to be spotted out. Sinners still have no idea that Heavy God's brought one of those over to the B bomb site. The A defense for Cloud9 still hasn't been tested. It's been 2 B contact plays through tunnels, 2 attempts at mid to B splits.
Well, it's a long hit this time. Morisco just charging out straight away, taking damage, but somehow still coming out on top of that fight. Boomich is down. Cloud9 fall to 4, and it's not going to be the commitment staying it long. Sinners are going to come back. They're going to drop back real quick and change things up to go back to B.
I think Heavy God realizes it. He shifted over towards middle, so going to drop his utility. He does have a smoke, so if they do manage to molly out his position, he can extinguish it. But this is exactly what he wanted the AWP for. This play that Sinners is setting up.
Heavy God steadies his stance on the back of the platform as they are ready to go around the corner. Sinners into the scope. Shot connects here for Heavy God. Draws those numbers even. And they're waiting for the repeat. They're waiting for him to pounce up again. And he got a second shot out of it before going down. Shock with a great shot back. But Sinners now moving into the bomb site. But this time Cloud9 have their forces ready. And that's going to be Inters just lining up the double. The transfer is beautiful. And you can see how early Cloud9 arrived to the bomb site. They didn't want to have to play a retake. They wanted to stop it before the bomb even got down in the site.
Yeah. Now they're getting into the swing of things. Inter's just saying, I'm inside the smoke. Pop the flash. Let's go. Good job from Exile. Beautiful support utility to activate Inters. And 2 quick headshots. Finally, the B contact play is stopped.
And Cloud9 well on their way back into this game now. They are about to tie it up. Sinners down to Tech9s. The T-side ideas have dried up.
I don't think they were ever all that lubricated, Dinko.
Yeah. The B bomb site was working, you know, they had one point of contact.
They've gone long to go for an opening engagement, and they've gone to the B bomb site.
They went back again. That's true. Well, here they go. They're going B. And Heavy God, he's loving this. Here they come again, right into his scope. He's going to peek up again. And it's just easy for Heavy God. 3 off the back of the plat. Finally dropped after a 4th on the USP.
This is winnable, though, and a plant is going to be quite nice for Sinners. Losing bonus is building up. This is a ton of extra cash. Another smoke as well to drop with the double door, so you get a little creativity, a little bit of luck, and, I don't know, 6 HP, a little bit rough.
Ooh, slips to the window. Look at this. Okay, not a bad position to take here for Mikey, but Boomich is going to consider it, and he really needed that headshot. Now that utility's flying towards him, and there's 2 players looking to remove him, Mikey has a very low percentage chance of winning this one. Boomich taps, takes the kill, and Icy on that defuse.
Yep, 10-10, all tied up. Does Heavy God want to go back to the AWP? At some point, you have to be thinking, surely they're not coming B again. We've now stopped them multiple times. We've now shut down and prevented any of the early success they were having. Now we have the utility to deal with it. Now we can have the double up setup, which we've shown, and Heavy God gets 3 kills. Surely Sinners attack elsewhere, up catwalk. Commit to the long play.
It's 5 rounds in a row now for Cloud9. Just moments ago, they were getting ready to talk about Sinners qualifying for the major, but they stalled out on this T side. Icy getting close to the AWP, looking for a short pick. Here comes an execute with smokes being deployed. Icy gonna try and heat things up with that molly going in. Mikey diving down into CT spawn, but Exile with a fantastic reaction. Flicks his crosshair down, deals with the threat of Mikey, and now Sinners are forced into what is going to be an A attempt.
And they have no more utility. They have nothing to actually make this awkward. It's Cloud9 with all the utility that can make it uncomfortable to get control of the bomb site itself. B-Stick might have to take a really awkward challenge.
Icy doesn't want to move. Morisco's going to come towards him in that smoke. It expands just at the wrong second, but Icy still moves out and takes the kill. No plant yet for Sinners. Eventually, they're going to try and commit to it. Beestick punching those digits in. But Cloud9 have 5 players to the 3 of Sinners for this retake to go their way. Shock sits back in that short smoke. Great kill coming in. A second as he flips these numbers back. And Beestick still fighting, but it's all on Shock. And he can't do enough. He can't step up all on his own, and it is going to be Cloud9 continuing this streak of round wins. They up it to 6, and they go into the lead.
And we got to touch on the inexperience of Sinners once again, because it's now 6 in a row for C9. Can you actually reverse your fortunes? Can you stop this momentum? They tried to go for some knockout blows when they had economic advantage and found a weakness at the B bomb site, but Cloud9 have since closed that gap. They've changed that weakness into a strength, stopping the B hits 2 or 3 times, and now Sinners late in the game have no experience attacking into this A defense, and Cloud9 outlast them 11 to 10. And Buchholz is back to being fired up.
And the Sinners call for their final tactical timeout. We mentioned earlier, this is the Sinners' best opportunity to qualify for the major. You don't want to have to go into the 2-2 bracket.
Well,
especially having such a big lead here on this map.
I'll say this at least, the favorites to go through in this group still, FaZe and Na'Vi both have games that they absolutely should win today,
yes,
right? So you're not going to have any of those heavy, dominant teams in the 2-2 games, in theory.
In theory. Outlaw, it's a full commitment. Ooh. And Icy's going to nail his shot on Beestick.
I don't think he, I don't think he expected that kind of a swing at that point. And now look at the pacing moving up towards long. All right, a little bit dangerous. Cloud9 know what's coming in. Icy going to drop a smoke to give himself some room to maneuver, some defense. But all of Cloud9 is here, and all the bullets whizzing through the smoke is starting to do work.
Yeah, heavy got straight through Morisco, though. Great shot out towards Icy. He's going to move and take some space off the back of that, so the plant is coming in for the Sinners. Once again, Cloud9 has to retake, and Axile, what a shot out short. It looked like Morisco had the advantage in that duel, but Axile comes out on top of it. And now Cloud9 4v2 as they move forward. Oscar sitting on the side of the smoke, getting spammed down as they walk in front of him. Oscar would have hoped for a multi-kill, but once again, it's on Shock. Can he do it this time? Yes, he can. 11 rounds as Shock steps up in the bomb site, and some life in Sinners yet.
Yeah, at least supplied by heroics of Shock. He had the beautiful shots over on Catwalk in the previous round that they lost. Here, though, at Railing, enters, can't connect the final kill, can't get the trade, and Shox bangs off 2 headshots. Tied up again, so neither team going out without a fight, but the money is an issue for Sinners out of a win. Mac 10 on Beestick, Galil on Morisco. Meanwhile, Cloud9, they got cash.
Out long, straight away. Might keep blasted away by that HE grenade. It is now an advantage to play with again for Cloud9.
Enter is tagged on the cross to the B bomb site by the AWP. Axile damaged up with the long take, but both of them happy to be alive, obviously. 4 players in Buchholz for Sinners, so it's back to what worked at the start. And if you're C9, it's like, Inters, don't leave the B bomb site. We need 2 people parked here. A has not really been very successful for Sinners.
Here comes Shock, the hero of the last round, into the open. Shock is down first. Heavy got with a double, and enters at the back of the bomb site. A 1v4 here for Oscar. And he'll move into the open. It's a great quick shot. But now they should just take a moment to breathe, compose themselves, and try and consider a way to limit any opportunity for Oscar to win this one.
I know he wants to win it, but I think more important is the bomb plant. There's no money for Sinners, and it's almost in a world, especially where you're dinged, where your percentage chance of winning this round is so low. Make sure you get the bomb plant, and I like how Cloud9 is playing this. Like, we're not going to peek into you. We're not going to give you any of these op shots. We saw what happened on Ancient when you almost won the 1v5. We're just going to sit here and let you plant the bomb, and we're going to figure it out after the fact.
Well, the plant is now coming in under that window for Oscar.
There is a nade. If that's placed perfectly, it could be an easy one.
Goes close to the double doors. Here comes the U-tilt. And he goes for a quick shot, one that won't work for him, and there's just too many targets, too many angles to worry about, and Oscar cannot handle it, but it gets that bomb plant you were mentioning, Jason. At least there's some extra cash now to play with going into this last round of regulation, but Cloud9 are one round win away from qualifying for the Major in Shanghai.
Yeah, one difficult round. Oscar has the op again, no utility, but the rest of his teammates are really labored and not a lot of utility. I mean, in my head, I would expect this could almost be something very similar to what we've seen throughout this half. Is just another one of those B pops through holes, because you don't have a lot of util to take control.
Oh, good early boost.
That's gonna help.
That is certainly going to help. Sinners with the advantage now in players at least. They've thrown out that corner smoke, but great utility from Cloud9 to stop anybody from feeling comfortable getting in and around those long smokes. Sinners looking to force overtime. They cross by. Just about getting past the scope of Icy, but he goes and he repeats, this time to a different angle, and this time to a different result. It's Morisco to go down, numbers evened out, and 1:05 seconds left.
Yeah, but Cloud9 don't really have any kind of significant defense over at the A bomb site. They're all huddled up in middle. I think they're still expecting Sinners. Oh, good boost up again. Creative. Cloud9 problem solving, and they're happy to retake the A bomb site now with the man advantage. Still worried about the B bomb site as Icy slides over with an AWP, but if you're going to have an AWP in this position, you might as well get Inter's moving somewhere. Only a single Molotov for Sinners to hold off any kind of a retake. And Cloud9 going to take control of middle and bring their forces to bear up Catwalk.
They were able to win disadvantageous post-plant just a few rounds ago, but it was off the back of a shock clutch. Cloud9 have consistently put themselves in the better spot when retaking this A bomb site. And the utility comes in.
Molotov into the site.
Forcing B-Stick into the open. He gets back to Goose, but he tries. Icy stops it from becoming reality. And Shock looking for more heroics. But for Cloud9, it is a step in the right direction. They are going to qualify for the Shanghai Major. They will return, and the Sinners just about missing out on their opportunity to go through today. They're not eliminated, but it's all about the celebrations for Boomich as he returns to the World Championships of Counter-Strike.
Well, yes, high emotions there for Cloud9. I do have to say, guys, worthy victors over the